Good evening, everybody. Tonight we're just going to do basically some paranormal tests, and I've actually got two guests on tonight. I've got Andy from Elemental Encounters,
Hello.
and I've got Jamie from Total Darkness Paranormal.
Hey guys.
Now you'll have to bear with Jamie because she's got internet problems at the moment, so she may cut in and out, but we'll get her back if we lose her. Yeah, we're going to do.
And it's coming again.
Say again. Yeah, we can still see you, Jamie. You're okay. Um, oh, it looks like the loyalty thing started up okay.
It
Right,
does.
basically we've got three experiments we're going to do tonight. One involving what they call Xena cards, where people are going to guess what card is being picked. There's going to be an ESP one where there are three separate images, and I will stare at the images, and then you people put in the chat basically what you think the picture is or what you're sensing off the picture, and then once everybody's had a say in what they think it is, we'll reveal it. And then the third one, we will do the spin the wheel, but it's with colours, and people will see if they can predict colours. Andy, can you grab a piece of paper and a pen?
I can,
And
yes.
Oh, silent on me again.
It's okay. Just bear with it, Jamie. You might pop in and out if your internet's being a bit dodgy.
Right, paper and pen, what instructions again, fella Brett?
Right, it's basically what we'll do is we'll just score people, as people who get closest, and then we'll see at the end
Alright, yeah.
who basically has got the highest score, who is the most psychic on the channel.
Okay, okay.
Obviously, I can't take part because I'm picking the cards and stuff, and I'm about as psychic as a soggy cardboard box anyway, so I know I wouldn't win. Um, Andy is basically going to try and harness the powers of the Fae and see if he can get any help via the REM Bear off the Fae. Jamie, I think she's doing it on her own back. So you're all welcome basically to join in. All you need to do is wait when you've got an answer, just type it into the chat, and then what we'll do when we select cards, we'll basically score who's got it right, and then, like I say, at the end of the three experiments, we'll see who's got the highest score. After that, we'll just have a general paranormal chat. I have got Fuzzy Wuzzy the REM Bear turned on, and the
I've got my REM Bear on as well.
cool, and I've got the KII Meter as well. So if we get any responses while we're talking, hi Cat, we'll see who's the highest. So shall we start with the Xena cards or the spin the wheel, Andy? Which one do you want to start with?
Ooh, I think spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Okay, so we need to go on to this screen, I think. Yeah, it'll be this one. And we'll turn the wheel on. And I need to call my chat out again. Right, there we go. As you can see, the wheel has got, well, I think it's 8 colours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it 8 or 9? 8. Yeah, 8 colours. Right, you've got red, obviously, white, pink, purple, blue, cyan, green, yellow, and orange. So what I'll do, if everybody wants to type in chat now what they think the wheel is going to drop on when I spin it in a second. Right, Jamie, what colour are you saying?
I'm going to say yellow.
Right, Jamie's yellow. Andy?
I'm going green.
Okay, we'll have to wait, obviously, for people in the chat to catch up with the
Yeah.
stream because there's a delay on it. So you're going green. Jamie's going yellow. I am going to go blue because I can actually do this one because I don't actually stop the wheel. It does it itself. Right, Jerry's saying orange. Becky's saying yellow. Jackie is saying white. Chris is saying blue. Sammy's saying green. Mama Cassie's going against the flow with purple. Stephen's blue. Right, so we've got a couple of blues, one purple, one green, one white, two yellows, because Jamie said yellow, one green, and I said blue as well, didn't I? So we've got 2 blues. Oh, 3 blues. Cat's saying blue as well. Is that everybody then? Got their colour? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 will do. Okay, so we'll spin the wheel, and we'll do this about 10 times, because they say you need a minimum of 10 spins to get any sort of accuracy. Here we go.
Looks like a
Blue.
K2.
Blue. Right, so basically that's 1 point to Chris Williams. And the bear's activating as well, Andy.
I'm going to say, I've just noticed.
Yeah. The bear suddenly started going. Okay. So Stephen, me and Kat all got blue. So we've got a point each on this. Was the 9? Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's 9. Yeah, sorry. I can't count, Chris. It's a bad education, that. Yeah, the bear suddenly started going off. That's really interesting.
Very interesting.
The minute we start playing the game, Fuzzy starts. Can you hear him over the mic?
Yeah, I can just hear it.
Yeah? He's going...
Yeah, I can hear it too.
Oh, and the K2's just started blinking as well. Yep, the bear is definitely blue. Okay, if you want to do your second guess then, everybody. Jamie?
Red.
Jamie says red.
I'm
Andy?
going to go white.
I am going to go orange. Everybody else? So what was yours, Jamie? Red?
Red.
It don't matter how many are there, Chris. Basically, it's just whatever it drops on. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. It's just basically picking the colour. So it doesn't actually have to be symmetrical. Right, Jackie says yellow. Stephen says purple. Becky is orange. Oh, Becky's going with me this time. Mama's saying yellow. Kat is saying already picked turquoise blue. That's cyan. Kat. Chris is saying green. Sammy's going pink. And Jerry is going orange. Is that everybody?
I think we're rolling.
Okie dokie. Here we go. I forgot what colours you said apart from blue again. Did
Blue
anybody
again.
say blue? Don't think anybody guessed blue that time, did they?
No.
Okay then, everybody. Hi, Maureen. If you'd like to pick your colour again then, nobody scored on that round. That was round 2. We'll move on to round 3. So I am going red. Jamie?
I'm going to go green this time.
Jamie's green. Andy?
I'm going to go pink.
Andy's pink. Everybody pick your colours. And I don't know why this bear is going crazy all of a sudden. Let's move that to the side over here. That's the speaker triggering it there, but I don't know. I don't know what was triggering. I don't know what's triggering that, Andy.
Very strange.
What, K2 going off?
Yeah, the K2 was going off, but the bears. I don't know if you can hear the bear. He's constantly chirping. Right, Maury. Right, we've got a load on this one. Right, Stephen's going cyan. Kat's going orange. Chris is going white. Jerry's going pink. Becky's going white. Sam's going green. Maureen is saying purple. Jackie is saying yellow. Maureen is... Mama Cass is saying white. Alison is going cyan, the light blue. Maureen's going purple. No, it wasn't actually between his legs. It was away from him, Stephen. That's why I've moved it. And he's going off again now. But he's chirping at me. Right, Maureen, do you want purple or red? You can only pick one. You can't hedge your bets. Is that everybody, Andy? I think it is, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah.
Okay, here we go then. I'll give it a good spin. Purple. Right, so how many purple? Did you say purple? You don't say purple, did you, Andy?
No, that's a pink. So we've got
So we need...
Maureen. Maureen, but she said red later on, didn't
Yeah.
she? Oh, she was edging a bet, didn't she?
Oh, you shouldn't have edged your bets there, Maureen. You'd have got one right there if you hadn't
She did-
swapped to red.
She did say purple twice, though.
Yeah, we'll give Maureen a point.
Yeah,
It's
well-
all slow, then, isn't it?
Yep. Purple. Right. Was that round 3?
It was, yeah.
Right, we'll go on to round 4 then. This time I am going yellow. Jamie?
I'm gonna go red again.
Jamie's red. Andy?
I'm going green.
Green. Okay, everybody pick your colours. I'm going to have I like this tonight because I can actually drink my coffee while it's warm. We'll be doing a card reading session on Sunday, everybody, by the way, and then I'll be drinking my coffee while it's cold. Because I literally don't have a chance to drink it. Right, Mama Cass is saying orange, Alison is saying green, Jackie is saying blue, Stephen is saying red, Andy and Becky isn't a colour, Maureen. Becky is saying pink, Jerry is saying green, Chris is saying blue, Maureen's going orange. Right, okay. Sam's going orange. What did you say, Andy?
Green.
What did you say, Jamie?
Red.
And I can't remember what I said. Did I say yellow? I did, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, I'm going yellow. Cat
Yeah.
is sticking with orange. Cat's going along the premise that eventually he's going to drop on orange. Purple again. Did anybody have purple? Orange, green, blue, red, pink, green, blue, orange, orange, orange. No, nobody got it. None of you lot are very psychic. I told you that, I'm as psychic as a soggy cardboard box. I'm absolutely crap at doing anything psychic. Okay, then was that round 4?
Yes, it was.
Right, we'll go
Yeah.
on to round 5 then. I am going with white. Jamie?
Green.
Jamie's green. Andy?
Oh, blue.
Which one? The normal blue.
Yeah, no.
Right, okay. Okay, everybody, pick your colours. So we've got white, green and blue. Jamie did say green, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm white. That's no excuse, Cat. Right, Jerry is going with me on white. Jackie is going green. Becky is saying pink. Alison is saying yellow. Stephen's saying yellow. Cat's going green, has decided orange ain't working for her. Mama's going green as well. Sammy's going cyan. Chris is going orange. Oh, sorry, Mama weren't going the same colour as Cat. She was just agreeing with that. Mama is going blue. Maureen is going white. Oh, right, so 3 of us are going white this time. Is that everybody? Yeah. Red. I bet nobody picked red, did they? Did anybody
No,
pick
they
red?
didn't.
Oh, I picked that up last as well.
Oh, God, you lot should all go and work with Derek Okora. Oh, God. You need to concentrate on the wheel, people. Stare at the wheel and see what colour jumps out at you. Right, I'm going to stare at the wheel and purple's jumping out at me this time. Jamie?
I'm gonna go for orange this
Orange.
time.
Right,
Yeah.
Jamie's orange. Andy?
I'm going for red, white, orange, yellow, green. Cyan.
You're going cyan. Okay, everybody, pick your colours. Come on, Derek, pick your colours. Right, Becky's cheating and going for red. Stephen is saying pink. Catty's going yellow. I did some psychic experiments as a Patreon with Paranormal Voice. That's not a colour. Jackie Matthews is white. Jerry is yellow. Chris is purple. I forgot. Oh, I said purple, didn't I? Alison is blue. Maureen is pink. Sam is green. Mama Cass is yellow. Is that everybody? Have all you Derek's got your bids in? I'm going to spin it a really long time this time to... Right, let's see what it drops on this time. I'll give it a good spin. Pink! Oh, we got a pink, didn't we?
Maureen. Pink.
And
Yeah,
I think
Maureen.
Stephen did as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
So Stephen got a point. Maureen got a point. Well, Maureen's getting good at this. I think Maureen's the most psychic here at the moment.
Well, we've got a tiebreaker on points there up to now.
How many have we done?
Well, Stephen and Maureen have both got a point apiece. Two points apiece.
2 points each. Oh, Stephen
Yeah.
and Maureen are turning to be the most psychic at the moment, people. You know, you need to concentrate on that wheel. How many have we done, Andy? 6 or 7? Can't remember.
That was 6 what we've just done.
Okay, we've got 4 more to do then. Becky, it's no good saying, damn it, I picked it the last round. The idea to prove that whether you're psychic is to pick it this round. I'm actually randomising it on purpose, Kat, because I think if you spin it for just once, it the variance ain't so much. But I'll just click it once this time and we'll see if it changes. Right, so this time I'm going with green. Jamie?
Red.
Jamie's red. Andy?
Orange.
Okay. Becky's white. Alison's white, so everybody's going white this time. Come on, get your colours in, folks. Got a room full of Derek Accorder and Sally Morgans tonight. Jerry is going cyan. Kat's going white, so it's just going with the crowd now. Kat, that's cheating. Sam is saying cyan. Mama Cass is saying cyan. We've got to wait for anybody else to pick the colour.
If Stephen says green, I'm going to change because Maureen said green.
Chris is yellow, Stephen's white. We've got a lot of whites this time. Has this been some kind of mass psychic event here? We'll find out if it lands on white. Is that everybody in? Yep. Green? Who picked green?
Maureen?
Maureen again?
Wow.
Maureen,
Cool.
you're getting good at this. You know, I think it's time to buy the headscarf and the crystal ball. Derek's initials stand for Devil's Advocate. I think Maureen's going to be in Take a Break soon as their psychic advisor. Right, we're going to go for the next one. This is round 8. We're doing up to round 10 on this experiment to see what we get, and then we'll try one of the other ones. There's only Maureen and Stephen who are proving any real psychic ability at the moment. You bet the rest of you are about as psychic as dead fish. Okay, so me included. This time I am going white's jumping out at me again. So I'll say white. Jamie?
Yellow.
Jamie's yellow. Andy?
Normal blue for me.
Right, blue for Andy. Right. Cat says pink. You should have gone with red if the dogs are fighting, Cat. Sam is saying pink. Jerry is saying orange. Mama Cass is saying red. Jackie is saying orange. Stephen is saying orange. Maureen's had to pop off for this question, so it's your chance to catch her up. Alison is saying red. Chris is saying cyan. Is that everybody? Or is there somebody else to come in yet? That's everybody, I think, innit? I said white, didn't I? What did you say, Jamie? Yellow, was it?
Yellow.
And Andy, you said blue, didn't you, Andy?
Yeah.
Okay then, here we go. Is this 8 or 9, Andy? I can't remember.
9.
Green. Did anybody say green? You did, didn't you, Andy?
No, I said
No,
blue.
you said blue, didn't you? Oh, see, it's a sign Maureen weren't in that round. Look, nobody's psychic anymore. Maureen's obviously a catalyst for everybody else.
Cheers.
Okay, so is this number 9, Andy?
This is number 9.
Right, I'm going pink this time. Stephen said purple, not orange, did he? Oh yeah, he did. I must have read it from the one above, sorry. Everybody loves the Pokemon tongue. Look, you've only got to say tongue. You've only got to say tongue and watch Jamie's face in that webcam. Tongue. Right, I'm going pink. Cat's insisting this is number 7, but Andy says it's number 8. Is this number 8 or number 7?
No, this is 9 that we're on now.
Right, this is 9. Cat, you've missed a couple of them. Right. Okay. I've said pink. Jamie?
I'm gonna go for blue.
Blue for Jamie. Andy?
Purple.
Right. Mama Cassie's red. Jackie's blue. Alison's orange. Jerry's purple. Stephen's white. Cat's got a colour called I've missed around somewhere. Chris is green. Cat is purple. Becky is red. Maureen, I think, has died of shock that she's psychic.
She didn't see that one coming.
This is the wacky stuff we get up to, Jamie, most nights. Most streams, this is what happens. Lol, me too, I think. I'd just throw any colour down every few seconds. Sam's agreeing with me on pink. It must be pink this time. Yellow? Did anybody say yellow?
It don't look like it.
No. You lot are all
I
crap.
keep getting it around the head by the looks of it.
Right, this is the final round in the spin the wheel colour test. I am going blue. Jamie? I've got one right in 10.
Green.
Jamie's green. Jamie's
I'm
got one
going
right,
red.
I know. Andy's going red. Come on then, people, put your colours in. What did I say? Blue, didn't I? Did I say blue? I did, didn't I? Yeah, blue. What did you say, Jamie?
Green.
Andy?
Red.
So blue, green, red. Alison is saying pink. Kat's saying green. Jackie's saying green. Chris is agreeing with me for blue. Stephen's going cyan. Mama's going with I'm usually good at these things, lol. I don't think so.
That's what the Coca-Cola says.
Sammy's going white. Mama's going purple. Becky's going white. Interesting. Has everybody got their colours in? I think they have, haven't they? Andy, you can read the scores out at the end of this. It's going to be hilarious.
I will do.
Because I think I've got 1 out of the entire 10. Here we go then. Yellow. Nobody said yellow again, did they?
Oh my word, really?
Yeah.
That was three on top with an got it right.
Yeah. See, you're all worse than Derek and Sally. Right. Do you want to read the scores out for the first experiment, Andy? Because I don't think anybody did very well, apart from Maureen and Stephen.
Yeah, right. So we've got Maureen with a whopping
Yeah.
3, correct?
Yeah. And she actually missed the last 3.
She missed the last 3. It's such a shame, because I'd love to have seen if she got any more.
Yeah, and me, to be honest with you.
We've got Stephen on an account of 2.
Yeah.
And then 1 point for Chris, 1 point for you, Brett, and 1 point for Kat.
Right, so the rest of you are even crapper at being psychic than I am, which is rather good. I will let you know, and this is going to sound really bad, that apparently 3 and below is basically just considered average guesses.
We can't even guess.
You would have to have got above 5 and above to be considered possibly psychic on that test, apparently.
Wow.
You're right there, Mama Cass. We're all psychic at choosing the wrong colour. Cat got 1 point. I only got 1 point.
I would sit that once around the head.
Yeah. Jamie and Andy were both absolutely shite at it and got 0. As did Becky. As did Sam. Who else? Stephen did well. Chris did crap. You know, right, so that's experiment number 1. Right, the next one we can choose from, Andy. We can either do the Xena cards or we can do the 3 different pictures.
I think we should do cards.
The Xena cards.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Are you ready for this posh new screen? There we go. You should all see that in a few minutes. Let me know when it pops up on your screen, Andy. And then you'll know. You should be seeing a new screen.
Terribly delayed.
Have you got the new screen up yet, Andy?
Not quite.
It should pop up anytime soon. Oh shit! I've just tipped coffee all over myself.
There we go.
Right, this is the Z. This should be easier for you people. You've only got 5 choices here. Right, you're back. These are what are called Xena cards. As you can see, I've put the 5 cards at the top to make it really easy for you, so you don't have to remember what the 5 cards are. And basically, we're going to do the same again as spin the wheel. I'm going to pick a number which corresponds to one of the cards, and I will not change it, I swear to God. So if you all pick it and it's the one I've selected, I will be honest about it. And then at the end, when everybody's picked their card, we will reveal each card over 10 attempts again. Are you ready for the scoring again, Andy? And then what we'll do at the end of the 3, we'll add all the 3s together and see if anybody has come out with, you know, with a decent what's it. Okay, so if you'd all like to pick your first card, the choices you've got obviously are circle, cross, waves, square or star. So you just need to type one of those in the chat. I can't take part because I'm obviously picking the
I'm going to go star with Andy.
Right, I've already picked the card I'm doing this time, so we've got 2 stars so far. So if you'd all like to type in chat either circle, cross, waves, square or star. So Andy and Jamie have both gone for star. Right, we've got to wait for it to sink in now that they ain't typing colours. Right. Stephen says waves, Jackie says waves, Sam says waves, Becky said cross, Mama said waves, Kat said waves.
Oh.
Is that everybody?
Chris has said cross as well.
Has he?
Yeah.
I'm quite interested with this one. Is everybody ready to see what the Paradox Fossils is saying square? Right, is everybody ready for the big reveal of round number 1? And this is honestly the card I picked before I asked everybody to pick it. 3, 2, 1. Hang on. There we go. And it was in fact waves, which a lot of you got.
Wow.
So you need to write down everybody who's got 1 point for that, Andy. I'll give you a chance because there's
Cheers, everybody. That's a lot of names. Oh, dear. Right.
So people did really well on that one.
Right. So, Cass.
Hang on,
Stephen.
I'll read them to you. Stephen said waves. Jackie said waves. Sam said waves. Mama Cass said waves.
Yeah.
Kat said waves.
Cat.
I think that's all of them, innit? I've already picked card number 2.
Yeah, that's
so.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do now then, we will block the waves card. And you can now start. I've already picked the card. You can now go for your second card. So Jamie. Jamie's running off.
I'm going to go for a star again.
Right, star for Jamie. Andy.
Square.
Andy's square. Everett, right. Chris is saying circle. Mama is saying cross. Stephen is saying square. Jack is saying square. Becky's saying square. Do you know, I think them all sitting there now waiting to see where everybody else is putting before typing. I still say square. Is that everybody, or have we still got somebody else who's coming in? Is that everybody? Cat says star. Is that everybody? Yes, Andy?
Yep, looks like it.
Right, okay. There's a couple of people going to be up here because the one I picked this time was star.
Wow.
So that is Cat and Jamie.
I got one.
And I am honestly keeping to the ones I look at first, you know, the one I actually pick before I do anything. Right, so Kat's got 1 point and Jamie's got 1 point. Okay, round 3. If you'd all like to, I'm just going to put in the chat a line of, I know they're stars, but don't let that influence you. It's just so that we know people's selection from there onwards. Okay, you can all pick your third card now. I have picked it. Jamie, what you going?
I'm going to go for a cross.
Cross. Andy?
Saying half an hour ago.
Andy said cross. Right, everybody put your what's it's into the chat. Cat is saying star. Paradox is still saying square. Chris is saying square. I got one too. That's not a shape, Mama Cat. Stephen's saying cross. Jack is saying cross. Mama is saying circle. Hi Robin, welcome to the chat. Sammy's saying square. I'll just say hi to Robin. Paradox is saying star. Becky's saying square. Right, you got to pick one or the other, Robin. You can either pick circle or cross. We'll just wait for Robin to decide whether he wants circle or she. I don't know whether it's is it a she or a he. It's a she, in it.
I think Robin is a she.
Right, Robin. Yeah, because Robin. That was why I asked, because Robin can be male or female. I need to recharge my batteries. You're welcome, Robin. Right, you need to pick either circle or cross. Which one you're going to have, Robin? And then I'll do the reveal. Which one are we picking for Robin? Because Robin said circle. I got cross in my head though. So we're picking circle or cross. Right, Robin's
Circle.
going circle.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the big reveal, and Andy is actually going to hate this and love it at the same time because it was, in fact, cross. There you go.
Oh,
Way!
But
yeah.
a lot of people actually said cross that time. It seems people ain't quite so derricky on the Xena cards. So basically,
Right,
Stephen got cross,
Steve, right, yeah.
Jackie got cross,
Yeah.
you and Jamie got cross,
Yeah.
and I think that's it in it.
That's it, yeah, about on it.
Yeah, that weren't bad.
Yeah, Robin had crossing her head.
Yeah.
Oh, for shame.
Yeah, yeah. Always go with what you think it is. If it's that persistent, Robin, go for it. Right, we'll cover the cards up again, and okay, I've picked my next card. So if you'd all like to pick your cards again, Jamie. Jamie.
I think I'm on the circle.
Right,
Oh
Jamie.
my god, same as me.
And
I'm
says-
sat in my world, meditating on it and going shapes.
right, Chris is saying star.
When you think of that, Andy.
Paradox says I'm a dream psychic. I would have to sleep on it for a few hours. Exactly, Robin. You need to go with what comes first. Jackie said star. Stephen said star. Mama said square. Robin says wavy. Sam said circle. Kat said circle. Is that everybody? Paradox said circle. Is that everybody, Andy? And Becky says square. Why? It's got to be Becky, and it's making a decision. I've got to allow the 10 minutes for Becky to make a decision. Right, okay. I'm going to reveal the one this time, and it's quite interesting because it looks like Robin is a natural at this. It was waves. So that's 1 point to Robin.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep. So that's 1 point to Robin. How many is that we've done now? 4.
That was 4, yeah.
Okay, so if you'd like to pick your 5th card, I've picked the one I'm going for. So, Jamie. Oh God, Jamie's as bad as Becky. It's not difficult, Jamie. There's only 5. Pick one.
I'm with this time.
I'll pick. Yeah, I'll pick star as well.
Right.
Me and Jamie are on the same page, even if we're wrong.
Right, Stephen is
Maybe
saying
that's a psychic ability. We're connected.
See, now the thing,
Telepathy.
what you've got to remember with this one is it's a bit of a crossover because it could you be picking it up via ESP off me, or it could be you being psychic and actually seeing the future of what it is. So this is like a double experiment. This one is quite interesting. This one because I'm actually picking it rather than the wheel randomly doing it. Okay, so you two said star. Stephen says circle. Jackie says square. Sam said square. Chris said waves. Becky said circle. Jesus Christ, Andy. Becky made a fast decision there.
I know.
Paradox said circle. Kat said square. Mama said cross. Robin said square, but I'm feeling star. Going with the first one now. Paradox chooses whatever Robin picks, so Paradox is also a square. Is that everybody? Yeah. You ain't gonna believe this when I reveal this one, Andy. You ready?
What one?
It's actually a square. Robin's got it right again. That is actually really interesting. So let's go back up to my line then. So we've got Jackie said square. Sam said square. Kat said square. Robin said square, and Paradox cheated and used Robin's answer and went square, so he got one as well. That is really interesting because Robin is doing really well at this at the moment. Right. Okay, I've picked it. Everybody pick your thing now. I've picked it. Right, Jamie.
I'm gonna go star again.
Right, Jamie Star.
Definitely a star.
I think I'm going to wait till everybody's listed what we're going for.
Okay.
Robin,
You can't do that.
The reward for winning is teaching everybody else how to be psychic. Because
I'm
these
gonna
lot are
wait.
hopeless. Right, so all pick your shapes then, guys. I've already got it. Right, Stephen saying star. What did you say? You said star as well, didn't you, Jamie?
Yes, star.
Kat says cross. Jackie said cross. Becky said waves. Chris says I'm just good at letting others win, lol. Sam said star. Robin said circle. What you going with, Andy?
I went waves.
Right, Andy's waves. Mama's square. Right, are you ready for the big reveal? Is everybody in? Paradox is saying circle. He's edging his bets again. You're not going to believe this. There you go. It was actually circle. Robin has got it right again.
That's three in a row.
Yeah. That is unbelievable. As did Paradox, but
Well, if we count the one where she
Chris is now saying
same one,
circle.
but went over.
Yeah, but she did. If she'd have gone with the one that she was adamant it was, she'd have had 4, but she's got 3.
That'll probably be Robin. I'll keep the star over and over. See a pentagram and I'm drawn.
How many's that we've done so far, Andy?
That one number 6.
Right, this is really interesting because Robin is doing really well at this. Okay, everybody, let's hide the circle, and I've actually picked my next one. So, Jamie, what are you going with?
I'm going to go for the star again.
Right, Jamie says star. Andy?
I'm going for cross.
Andy's going for cross. Okay, everybody, put your guesses in the, what's it? Oh, Chris got a point. Apparently he chose it before it came up, so Chris got it as well.
Alright,
So
cool.
put a point down for Chris. Mama's saying star. Kat's saying waves. Jackie's saying waves. Yeah, you can join in, Selena. If I can spell your name right, Selena. My typing is getting worse.
Paradox is waiting for Robin.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Robin. Stephen is saying cross. Paradox is saying cross. See, Robin's gone for cross this time. Selena's saying wave. What did you say, Andy? You went for cross. Did you go for cross or wave?
I went for cross.
Is that everybody in? Maureen's back.
Oh, Maureen's back.
You're welcome, Robin. It's a nice bit of fun for everybody as well, just to test if they are actually, what's it? Okay, is everybody in? I'm about to reveal it then, and this is quite interesting because Maureen's back on top. It was actually Star. So,
Way!
Jamie's got it as
I
well.
think there's only Jamie and... Did Becky say Star? Yeah, Becky said Star. So it's Becky...
Becky.
Mama. Mama said
Alright.
Star. Let me just go down and just to check. Mama said Star. Becky said Star. Jamie said Star. And Maureen said Star. So that's a point each for all of those.
Chris said star as well.
And then Chris said Star.
Got it.
Was that number 6 or 7?
That one number 7.
Right, okay. Let's blank off the star then. Don't pick yet because I haven't actually decided on one. Okay, I have picked one. You can all start choosing now. Jamie?
I'm going to go for waves this time.
Right, Jamie's waves. Andy?
I think it's one as well, waves.
Andy's waves.
Oh,
Selena's
we
just
sync
eating.
again, Andy.
Yeah, we're resynced.
Selena, you missed the last test. Practically everybody, bar a few people, got them all wrong. So you're all right. Don't worry about warming up. Kat says I was okay, doing okay till I got up and started walking around. Why is your like psychic ability in your ass, Kat? um, I am thinking about you, Robin, because you keep getting them right. Jackie says waves. Paradox says star. Chris said square. Sam said cross. Mama said waves. Becky said cross. Maureen said waves. I think we're only waiting for Robin now, ain't we? Stephen said waves.
And Selena said circle.
Selena said what? Circle.
Circle.
Yeah. Is that everybody? Chris, do you want to put yours in before we do it? Or have you? Oh, Chris said square. Okay, and the actual one this time. Right, Cat says square. Has Robin selected hers yet? Yeah, has her? Yes, no? Square but
Square.
feel circle. Okay, this time it was actually cross.
Oh,
So there was a couple guessed cross, I think. I think Sam got it and Becky, I believe.
right.
Was it Becky? Did Becky say cross? I'm sure Becky said cross.
Yeah, I think she did. Yeah, she did.
Yep. Yep. So that was Becky and Cross got that one. Yeah, we all need coffee. Right, let me just divide this off so we know for the next one. Is this number 8 now, Andy, or number 9?
We're on to number 9 next.
Right, okay. I have picked the one I want, so you can all start picking your shapes again. Jamie?
I'm going to go back to the star.
Right, Jamie said star. Andy?
I'm going to go square.
Andy said square. You ain't done very well tonight, Andy, yet.
I
You
know.
need to send the file over to check these pictures out in a bit.
Well, Tommy's gone quiet, hasn't he?
Yeah, the bear's gone quiet as well. I'm just going to check his... Yeah, he's still working. Ain't that weird, though? As soon as we started, he started triggering off.
Yeah.
Circle. Stephen said circle. Mama said square. Jackie said star. Selena said circle. Sam says square. Right, we've just got to wait for everybody else to pop in with theirs. Becky said waves. Chris said waves. Paradox said star. Kat said waves. Robin said cross. Lol. Maureen says cross. Oh, I've still got the cross up there. That isn't the one I'd picked, by the way. So I'll do the big reveal. It was actually... Let me find it on the list. Circle. There you go. So I think somebody got circle, didn't they?
Yes, Selena got circled.
Yeah,
Stephen.
Stephen.
Stephen and Selena, I think, were the only two that got it, weren't it? Okay, let's block that one off. Circle. I'll pick the next one and then I'll tell you when you can go. One being drawn to 2 here. This is going to be interesting because I'm actually being drawn to 2, but I'm picking the one, but I want to see who picks the other one. Okay, you can start. Hang on, let me put that across. So we know the divider's there. Okay, I've picked it. What you going with, Jamie?
I'm going to go across this time.
Right, Jamie says cross. Andy?
Star.
Andy said star. Um, sharing is caring, guys. Thanks, Robin. Right, Jackie said square. Selena said square. Sam said star. Stephen said cross. Paradox said star. Lily said star. Mama said waves. Is that everybody? Maureen said star. Is that everybody? I think it is, isn't it? Now this one is really interesting because the one I actually picked was, right, Becky said square, waves, but the other one I kept looking at was the cross, and nobody picked the cross, and only Mama picked waves.
I picked cross.
Yeah, I'd been looking at the cross, so I think it was just Mama who got a point that time, wasn't it? That was really interesting, that one, because I thought maybe the fact I was dithering between two was, somehow interfering with it. Right, I'm going to go for a definite one this time. Okay, I've picked it. Right, Jamie.
Star.
Jamie said star. Andy.
Star.
Andy said star. I don't know what that's supposed to be off. Mama is some woman on a swing by the looks of it.
That's Jimmy.
Now it's got a dress on. Right, Mama's saying Mama's saying star. Paradox is saying star. Jackie is saying waves. Robin is saying star. Maureen is saying square. Selena is saying circle. Sam is saying square. And Kat is insisting we've already done 10. And Becky is saying square. Is that everybody? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and this was a definite one I thought of, and this time it was actually square, believe it or not. So I think 3 people got it that time. Maureen, Sam, and Becky again.
Cool. Maureen, Sam and Becky, yeah? Right. I've got some tallying up to do here, so bear with me a second.
Right, we're just going to do this little quick thing while you're tallying up because Robin wants to see if I can pick one. So I've said to her,
Alright, yeah.
Pick it. Let me know when you've picked it, and then I'll guess which one it is. And believe me, I've got no psychic ability at all. Zero, nada. Right, Robin, let me look at I'll type it in chat. That's the one that's jumping out at me. There you go. I picked one right. Hi Trisha. Let's say hi to Trisha. Right, how did we do on that one, Andy?
I've just got one more name to add in. Yeah, that's right. Right, so we have got the winner of that round is Sam with 4.
Right.
And then we've got Cass, Robin, Stephen, Becky, Jamie, and Kat all with 3 points.
Right.
And then we've got Jackie, Paradox, and Maureen with 2 points.
Yeah.
Latecomer Selena with 1. And me from beginning 1.
And I actually guessed the one just that Robin was thinking of.
Did you?
Yeah, which was waves.
But I'll do that as one with all of them.
Right, now the third and final one is the one I'm really interested in, because this one is ESP. Now I basically know what these 3 pictures are, and I'm gonna pick a picture one at a time. While I'm talking, I'll go onto the screen, so it should come up by the time it's ready to go on. But basically, the way this one is going to work is there are 3 pictures. They're all hidden under a big question mark, and I'm randomly going to pick one of the 3 pictures, and I'm going to stare at it for about 30 seconds, and then I want you to stare at the question mark and then type in the chat 3 things you think are about that picture. So you could put, like, there's something green in it, or I think there's a person in it, but put 3 in a list. Do you get what I'm saying, Andy?
Yes.
Don't type your 3 individually, put all 3 in a list, so we can actually pick which ones we're actually gonna, do. But I've picked my first one randomly. Is the screen up yet?
The question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, basically. So what I want you to do, people, is stare at that question mark for 30 seconds now, while I look at this picture. I've got the picture in front of me, but you lot can't see it. And I'll set a timer for 30 seconds. Keep concentrating on it. And then in the chat, I want you to put in one comment... Yes, you're all doing it, Kat. You've got to put 3 things you think about that picture. So basically, I am trying to transmit that picture through the question mark on the screen back out to you. Right, Alexa, set timer 30 seconds. Alexa, set timer 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Starting now.
Yep, definitely mind's eye. So I want you all to concentrate on it now. Alexa, stop. Okay, your 30 seconds are up. Jamie, tell me 3 things you sense from that picture.
Trees, some sort of musical instrument, and I'm gonna go with an animal.
Okay, Andy?
This might sound strange, but insect,
Yeah,
red,
yeah.
and white.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a look what people have put. Let's start from the top. Maureen has put puppy tree field. Paradox has put snake, horse, chess. Mum has put ball, field, sky. Chris has picked crisps, coconut crunchy. Okay. Robin says tree, grass, lake, lots of green. Now, we're going to be a bit more broader with these in awarding points, because I ain't expecting people to get things spot on. Where did I get to? Was Robin won it? Trisha, colour red, sky and an animal. Interesting, Trisha. Chris has put, guess the crisps, lol. Right, Maureen is saying sheep, sheepdog, shepherd. Robin says someone you may know. Kat says woman's face, mountain, tree. That's another interesting one, Kat. Becky said tree, water, person. Again, another interesting one. Jackie said balls, gold, sword. Okay. Sam said house, mountain, river. Stephen said person, dog, lead. Selena said love, heart, and balance. Now that is interesting as well. Is that everybody? Yeah. Okay, I am now going to actually reveal what the picture was. And it was actually the Statue of Liberty standing in front of Manhattan Island.
Oh.
Believe it or not. Now, there was some quite interesting responses in there, because I think anybody who mentioned water to start off with gets a point. People saying red, when you see the picture come up, you'll see why, should get a point, because there's a hell of a lot of red in this picture, believe it or not. And the thing about balance being, justice and liberty was another interesting thing that I found.
Yeah.
Let's go back up and we'll rate everybody by what they actually said. I need to scroll down to the part where it first started. Right, Maureen said puppy, tree, field. Unfortunately, Maureen, nothing we can really tie that to the Statue of Liberty. Paradox said snake, horse, and chess. Again, nothing really. You can get that one. Mama said ball, field, sky. Now, the sky is very prominent in that. So, Mama gets 1 point for that, Andy.
Alrighty.
Right, Chris said crisps, coconut crunchy. Unfortunately, the Statue of Liberty hasn't got any of them. Robin said tree, grass, lake. Lots of green. Now, that is interesting because the Statue of Liberty is green and she is actually in water, which some people would sense as a lake. So Robin gets 2 points for that. Now, Sam's was really good because she put colour red and sky. And that's actually showing a very prominent red sky. So Trisha, sorry, not Sam. So Trisha gets 2 points for that, because I thought that was really interesting. Maureen put sheep, dog, or shepherd. Unfortunately, Maureen, not really. Cat put woman's face, mountain, and tree. The Statue of Liberty is very prominently a woman's face, so Cat gets 1 for that. Becky put trees, water, and person, and there is basically water and a person in that picture, so Becky gets 2. Jackie put balls, gold, and a sword. Now, I'm giving Jackie 1 for that, because that torch could actually be viewed by somebody as a sword. For somebody taking an ESP, so I'm giving Jackie 1 for that. Sam,
Also say another one there because the light up bulb does the torch.
the what?
The torch lights up gold as well when it was lit up. So maybe 2 for that one.
2 for that one then. Sam's got house, mountain, river, so I'm giving Sam 2 for that because it's showing people's apartments behind, and also she's got water in it, river, so that's 2 for Sam. Stephen said person, dog, lead, so Stephen gets 1 for the person. Selena said love, heart, and balance. I'm giving her 1 for the balance because liberty, she's classed as liberty and justice, which is the scales of balance, and that's the book of law, the amendments and stuff. I believe she's holding in her hand. So that was quite good on that one, to be honest with you. So I'm going to put the image back up, block that one off. Right, now then I'm going to pick another one now. I'm going to concentrate on this picture, and I'm going to set right. I'm going to set a timer with Alexa again for 30 seconds. Let me just put a dividing line off so we don't get anybody. Alexa, stop. I don't know why Alexa just suddenly started reading my book. That was really interesting. Right, okay. I'm now concentrating on the second picture. Alexa, set timer 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Starting now.
Okay, everybody concentrate on the question mark. I'm transmitting what I'm looking at. Alexa, stop. Okay, Jamie, 3 things you're seeing in that picture.
I'm going to say a long winding road,
Right.
a car,
Yeah.
and desert.
Okay. Andy?
A gate, a house, and a tree.
Right, okay. Right, let's see what people are putting then. Paradox says birds, cows, clouds, cows. I'm thinking of Sam here. Birds, clouds, and blue. Mama said blue. Funny, 2 blue straight away. Look, blue, house and car. Hi, Peter. Peter says hello. Maureen says shopping trolley and people. Jerry says bear, fish, and water. Sam says fairy tree and water. Chris says forest, moss, green, and bark. Chris can't count. That's 4. Becky says car, house, and green. Robin says fall foliage, cluster of mountains or trees. Looks like fall though. Feel solium is all I'm getting. Interesting, Robin. Trisha's put blue and water. Stephen's put sky, metal, green, grey. Robin's convinced it's fall in the picture. It's gone from. I've got to watch that after Sam. We've been to an investigation today, so I ain't had a chance to watch it yet. Selena says road, round, end. Has everybody got their guesses in now? Kat says park bench, iron French. What are iron French? Is that iron fence? And cars.
It's a really hard to get.
I presume you meant fence. Iron French. Right, is everybody's guesses in? Again, this one was really interesting right from what Jamie said, because I'm giving Jamie a point because she said winding road. Right, Peter said trees and a pond. Okay. What you could actually see was a winding river. So Jamie gets a point for the winding road bit of it, because, you know, a river could be perceived as a road when transmitted. Let's go up to my line then, and we'll go through everybody's and see what we got. Right. Paradox said birds, clouds, and blue. So I'm giving Paradox 1 for the blue, because of the water and the river, and there is blue in it. There's no birds in there, and you can't really see any clouds in the picture, so I can't give you 1 for the cow thing. Mama says blue, house and car, so Mama gets 1 for the blue. Maureen says shopping trolley and people. That's the last thing in that picture, Maureen. Jerry says bear, fish and water, which is really, when Jerry put that, I thought that's really interesting, because I always associate bears and fish with rivers. believe it or not. But she's got one there with water.
What was that again? Sorry.
One for Jerry, for the
Jerry.
water. Yeah. Have you got Jerry down?
Yep.
Right. Sam said fairy, tree, and water. Sam got 2. There's actually trees and water in that picture. Chris cheated and put 4 in to try and cover the forest, moss, green, and bark. So I will actually give Chris 3 for that, for the forest,
3,
green, and
yeah.
bark. You know, because the impression was very treey, and that is a very treey picture. Becky said car house green, so Becky gets 1 for the green. Robin gets 1 for foliage, because there's a lot of trees showing in that. Cluster of mountains or trees, looks like fall though. Unfortunately, it's not full, but there's definitely clusters of trees there. So I'll give you 2 for that, foliage and cluster of trees. Sam said blue and water. Trisha said blue and water. 2 for Trisha straight away, because that's exactly what it is. Stephen said sky metal, which I ain't sure what that means. Green and grey, so Stephen gets 1 for the green. Was that everybody? Selena said road, round, and end. So Selena gets 1 for the road, because the river could be perceived as a road. Kat said park, bench, and iron French. Cars. I'm going to give Kat 1 for that, because that could be perceived as a park when people are getting things through with a lot of trees.
Yeah.
Have I missed anybody there? Have I missed anybody? Peter said trees and pond. I'm giving Peter 2 for that, because there are trees and water in it. And what did you say?
How about you push Jackie's?
Where's Jackie's?
I'm looking now.
Battery please charge.
Yeah, I can't find Jackie's.
I can't see Jackie's. Am you sure I missed Jackie's? Hang on, I've just saw
It
Jackie.
says here,
Where is it, Jackie? I can't see it. Can you see it, Andy?
No, I can't.
I bet you can burn all.
Jackie, what did you put? Because I can't see it. I honestly cannot see a comment there off Jackie. Unless
Black animal and green, apparently.
So, she put what? River and cucumber.
Apparently she said black animal in green.
Right, so Jackie gets 1 point for the green.
Cat saying, look at water, there's a shadow and a French gate. a French iron bar. Right, so what did Jackie get? How many points?
1.
1.
Because she got the green.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to pick the very last one now. So, I'm going to set a timer in a second.
So is this last one?
Yeah, this is the last one. This is the third one.
Ah, okay.
Right. Alexa, set timer 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Starting now.
And please don't read my book this time. I'd actually set a timer to put your channel link in the every 20 minutes, but I don't think it's been popping up.
I think I've seen it twice.
Oh, it is working then. Alexa, stop. Right, the heist is it, there's various chat games you can play, Robin. But while we're doing this, people are more concentrating on this. Hang on a minute, hang on. Let me. Right, so I've got to remember that there's a few just above. Right, Jamie, what 3 things are you getting off that picture?
I'm going to say green, red, and snow.
Right, okay. Andy?
I'm going to say car, buildings, and sky.
Right, okay. We just got to remember there's a few above because Mama's put orange, red, and green. Peter's put road, concrete, lorry. Paradox has put snow, grey, and rocks. Cat's still trying to grab an extra point for a French gate or whatever it's for the fence. Jackie, white tree, and person. Jerry, ocean, sun, and pier. Vernon, for some strange reason, thinks it's a giant cucumber and a horse. Okay. Trisha is saying ocean, boat, flag. Selena, my thing's just gone crazy, is saying seat, corridor, building. Maureen is saying trees, birds, blue sky. Rocks, water, but not sure what body is. Thank you, sir. Sammy's saying wing, sky, and green. Is anybody else? Where's Chris's? For some reason, this lava, red mountain. Becky's saying grey, animal, blue. Stephen saying green, building, cars. Jackie's saying white, tree, person. Peter's saying road, concrete, lorry. I think that's about it, innit, Andy?
Yep.
This one's quite interesting because I think, from what I've just quickly going down the list, I think there's only one who's really got anything close. The image, people, was actually 2 dogs sitting on the grass by a fence. And I think Becky said animal. So I think Becky's probably the closest to it, but we'll go through them all anyway and see if anybody's close. So Mama said orange, red, and green. So she's got a point for the green because there's green grass in the picture. So that's 1 point for Mama.
Yeah, the green as well.
Who did?
Me.
Right, Jamie gets 1. I think you were totally off, weren't you, Andy?
Yes, totally.
Peter said road, concrete, lorry. No, it's 2 cute looking dogs. Golden retrievers by the looks of them. Paradox said snow, grey, and rocks. None of those in there. Jackie said white, tree, and person. Not really any trees in there, is there?
Yeah.
No. Jerry said ocean, sun, and pier. Now I'm giving Jerry 1 for the sun because the sun's very prominent in that picture with the shadowing and stuff on the Wuzzy. It is a sunny picture. So
Yeah.
I'll give Jerry 1 for the sun on there. Unfortunately, Mr. Vernon, there was no cucumbers or horses in that picture. Tricia said ocean, boat, and flag. So nothing in there. Selena said seat, corridor.
It's as if you squint your eyes, it looks like an horse.
I ain't got that far down the chat yet. And building. Now I'm going to give Selena 1 point for the building because I don't know whether that's the fence or the side of a shed or building. So she gets 1 for that. Maureen said trees, birds, blue sky. None of them in there. Robin said people, rocks, water, but not sure. Unfortunately, it was dogs. Sam said wings, sky, green. So Sam gets a point for the green. Chris said lava, red, mountain. No red in that picture at all. Becky said grey, animal, blue. So Becky's the only one who got really close with it. Definitely an animal in it. Jackie said white tree and person. Again, nothing really to cover that one. Road concrete lorry. Again, nothing to do that one. Fence looks orangey. I got orange. Oh, actually, I suppose you did, yeah, because the fence is orange. Yeah, so Mama gets an extra point for that.
Alright, cool.
Right, so Andy's going to tot up the points for that one. So we'll see who did the best on the pictures with the ESP. Somehow I get a feeling it ain't you, Andy.
No. Definitely not me. It's an awkward one. Finding all names. Where are they? Right, there it is. Right, you'll have to bear with me a sec or two.
No problem. Paradox says if I had my special tobacco, I would have done better. To be honest with you, Paradox, it's surprising how much stuff like that will actually open you up to things. Hi, Nikki. You've just come in as we've finished the actual experiment part of it. We can just have a general chat if you want now, Andy.
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
what
definitely.
People want to talk about or any questions they want to ask us. We can tell them a bit about what we've done today.
Yes.
Without revealing too much, because we're going to have the videos coming out, but it'll be interesting to have a bit of a chat on that. Right, we're going to find out who won that round, and then we'll find out who was the most psychic overall. Hi, Nikki.
It's really difficult, because there's that many different names for this one. But what I can tell you is there's quite a fair few people with 4 points each up to now.
All right.
Yeah.
And again, anything above 3 is considered above average. So there's a few people did really well on that bit. Mr. Vernon is still insisting the dogs are watching a cucumber riding a horse.
Vernon, you need to stop going on about scaring those dogs with your pickled cucumber, man.
Robin was actually absolutely brilliant with the Xena cards. Absolutely brilliant. Thanks, Robin. I actually do tarot readings on. I tend to do a stream on Friday night where we do things like this and paranormal discussions and a general chill out. And then on Sunday I do my tarot readings. That's the point where I end up totally thirsty, hardly any voice left, and knackered at the end of it. But I always enjoy the Sunday sessions. But we'll do something similar again next Friday. We were out today on an investigation, believe it or not. There was me and Jason. Were kindly invited by Andy and Becky of Elemental Encounters, and we also had Ellen there, the new team member of Elemental Encounters, and we had quite an interesting day.
Right, I'm nearly with you.
Okay.
Last couple of names.
Andy's just adding up all the scores for the last bit.
We've got a tiebreaker for first place between 2 on that one so far.
Right, okay.
I
should have warned you to get a calculator ready, shouldn't I?
Hey, it would have been quicker.
Oh, sorry about that, Kat. I think it might be to do with my headphones have just died.
You actually sound really clear now, Jamie. Nice and loud.
Yeah, you did.
I think it's because I think it must have been headphones because since doing it, I've not had no breaking up or nothing come from your end either.
Yeah, you sound really clear now.
Yeah, the tarot readings, Robin, they start at 9 PM, but that's UK time. So you'll have to work it out for wherever you are. But I'll put a reminder on the channel anyway. Mr. Vernon's adamant he wants a point for this cucumber. He's trying all sorts of ways to... He's now claiming one of the dogs is called Cucumber.
Right, we've got it. Are you ready? We have got entire first place for that one.
Yeah.
Sam
Right.
of 5 points and
Yeah.
Becky of 5.
Wow.
Right, then we've got Cass, Robin, Trisha at 4 points each.
Yeah.
We've got Jackie at 3,
Yeah.
Kat at 3.
Yeah.
We've got and Selena at 3.
Yeah.
And then we have got Peter, Jamie, myself, Jerry, Stephen at 2,
Mm-hmm.
and Paradox at 1.
There you go then. Now that is actually really good for 2 people to get 5 because there was only 15 things there, and they've got a
Yeah.
third of them. So that is, believe it or not, that is well above the average of what people normally guess regarding ESP experiments. So both Sam and Becky have done really well on that. Right. So do you want to add up for the final overall scores then, Andy, or have you already done that?
No, I'm about to do that now.
Okay. Right. We're about to find out who tonight is the most psychic viewer on Above Paranormal. And I knew it wasn't going to be me.
Or me.
Cat needs to keep her arse firmly on the chair all night long, and then I might be in a chance. There was no French in that river picture, Cat. You did really well, Sam, you and Becky, on that one. That is actually well above average for it's on an ESP experiment.
Maybe the river was in France.
Yeah, we've had 3 fun experiments going on, Nikki. It's been really good. There you go. Mr. Vernon is going to send you a cucumber as a first prize. I might actually get some like cups or something done for when we do stuff like this. So just award somebody something at the end of it, even if it's a little mug. Mugs you can never
You
have.
give me a box afterwards. I'll get in touch with my merch guy for you.
Yeah, please. Cheers.
Yeah.
You can never have enough mugs.
Oh, mugs are amazing.
Hi Tara, welcome to the channel. I think it was the beans I ate last night. That bowl tasted kind of funny. Oh, don't talk to me about funny tasting things.
That'll be Mark's cucumber.
Actually, Sam, that is one of the things I'm planning on doing the next time is actually putting an item in a box and leaving it on the box, for people for the entire stream, and then people get to guess, 3/4 of the way through the stream what's in the box or something. That is one of the things I'm going to do next time. But I couldn't find a suitable box because literally I have been out all day today, and I got back about an hour and a half before the stream started, and then Jamie said she'd come in last minute, so I had to rearrange me Streamlabs so Jamie could actually appear, and so I don't really have a chance to get anything else.
On bright side, at least it's sorted out for any other time you want to drag me into a live.
Yeah, well, you'll literally automatically pop in now. It's just that you're actually on my webcam at the moment, so I just have to move you onto webcam 3. That's the only difference.
Well, we've got a clear winner.
Right, okay.
Do
3, 2, 1. Do the third highest, then the runner-up, and then the winner.
Right. Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
The winner.
No, winner last.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Do 3, 2, 1 like we're at the Olympics.
Right. So, in third place, right, we have... It's a tie between 3 people.
Okay.
Right, which will be Cass, Robin, and Stephen.
Hang on. I'm going to put Cass, Robin, and Stephen. Yeah.
All with 7 each.
All with 7, did you say?
Yeah, a total of 7 points each.
Okay.
And then we've got Becky as the runner-up with a total of 8 points.
Second place, Becky. Hang on. with 8 points.
Yeah.
See, Becky did really well.
And then number 1 is Sam with a massive 10 points.
Sam.
Yeah.
There you go. Congratulations, Sam. You are the most psychic person of the evening. Winner, Sam. 10 points. Congrats.
Fantastic.
And Paradox says he came in last because of the beans.
At least it weren't Vernal's cucumber.
Yeah. Now, that was really, really interesting, actually. I enjoyed doing that. It was fun to see what people were actually going to come up with. There you go, Sam. Congratulations. You're welcome, Robin. Right, so what we'll do now, we'll tell you a bit about what we've been doing today. So I'll let Andy do that, so because he knows what he's putting in his video and stuff, so you don't have to reveal too much. So would you like to tell everybody what we've done today, Andy?
Yeah, right. So a few weeks ago, when myself, Becky, Brett, and Jace all were foraging some wood for one workshop, I took you to see an old burnt out house, didn't I?
Yeah.
And it's a damn shame because it is a nice big house, and you know some kids have been in and burnt it down. And I said to Brett, I said, right, I'm going to take you into the back garden because the back garden is absolutely magical. And I could only wish for it to be my personal back garden, but it's absolutely full of old trees. Like there's a really massive eucalyptus in there, an old oak tree. I mean, and it's got to be an ancient pine as well because it's that thick at base,
Huge.
isn't it?
It's got to be. It's got to have a trunk about 2 feet thick, easy.
Oh yeah,
if not
yeah.
thicker.
So that day, we did a little spirit box, didn't we? And we got some rather interesting comments come over that box. So we thought we'd go back today and go more equipped, didn't we? And see if we could get out talking to us.
Mm-hmm.
And on initial setup, you were getting some rather interesting things coming through your spirit box.
I really wish I'd have recorded that, but it was literally I just switched it on and gave it to Jace to hold while we were just getting ready. So
well, Becky has got a couple of minutes worth of it.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes. Which was interesting off bat, and then sort of you and Jace went down to Cesspit.
Yeah.
Straight down there to go and see what's going on with your box. Me, Becky and Ellen stayed near Oak Tree. And all I can say is, between us all, we got some interesting results.
We certainly did.
We really did.
Did she catch that bit about the plane?
About the what?
The plane. The F plane.
An airplane.
F, not air. Remember it said something right at the beginning?
Oh, I don't know. I think what when you were doing your box?
No, when we very first started, and it popped. It said the F word once, and then it said F plane straight after.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. That was literally while we were setting up.
I don't know if she'd switched it on by then.
Yeah. The other interesting thing was we had a little bird following us around, which was quite interesting.
Yeah.
It followed me and Jason right down to the cesspit. And while I was doing one of the spirit boxes, it was actually coming right up and watching us. And then later on, I don't know whether you've caught it in your video, it appeared again and did some rather funny little things while we were filming.
Yeah.
Cute little bird.
Yeah, it was.
But it is an amazing place. Like Andy says, you know, the house has been burnt out. And the garden, I'd say, has been left... Is it a couple of years, Andy, would you think? It's got to be at least, hasn't it, the way the garden has gone?
Yeah, I think I'd been kind of... I noticed house about a year ago.
Yeah.
And it was well into overgrowth then a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably been abandoned, 5+ years?
Yeah. The garden is literally gone semi-wild now. and you could
Yeah.
you could tell at the, you know, when the house was there and lived in. It was an extremely, you could tell it was an extremely well looked after garden, and they've got four. Is it four eucalyptus in there or three? There's one up the top in there and two or three in
There's
the
one at
garden.
top end and 2 or 3 at back in
Yeah,
there.
and a couple of them are quite big eucalyptus. They're well established, which are quite, you know, unusual for over here. Eucalyptus trees. Funnily enough, my dad's got one in his garden. But you know, I did actually ask Andy what would, you know, the Fae think of it, something like a eucalyptus tree over here. But
Yeah.
what would you think? What do you think they do? That, you know, do they treat non-native trees differently, or do they just embrace them all?
No, I think they embrace them all. Apparently, eucalyptus is quite resonating if you look at, you know, metaphysical properties of trees.
Yeah.
Because eucalyptus is using a lot of healing remedies, so
Yeah.
yeah, I think they'll be quite fond of it, to be fair.
You know, and what's really nice is when you're in the garden and you're standing by one of those eucalyptus, you can actually smell the eucalyptus oil, can't you, off the trees?
It's stunning.
It's got
Absolutely
a
stunning.
beautiful smell to it. I've no idea what that noise is. I don't know whether it's coming off Andy or Jamie. I think it's Andy, I think.
Is it me?
I don't know. There's like a do-do-do-do every so often.
Yeah, I've heard it, but yeah.
I think it's Jamie, I think.
I think it's me when I'm like typing comments in at the bottom.
Is that really it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Jamie's got a ketones on. Sorry, everybody.
It's on vibrate, so you'll hear the buzzing.
We don't need to know about your toy.
Selena, yes, it was a robin. It was a robin. And it literally, it followed me and Jace all the way around the garden.
It was pecking at my REM Bear at one point.
Yeah, well, that was why I said there was some funny things happening after. At one point, it actually climbed onto the leg of Andy's REM Bear and sat there on the leg listening to us while we were talking. But while me and Jace were doing the spirit box at the bottom and Andy, Becky and Ellen were at the top, he actually came to within about 2 or 3 feet of me and Jason, and he just sat there cocking his head looking at us all the while we were doing it, sort of thing. But when we went back down, he followed us back because he came up, didn't he? When we came up, he came up with us, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then when we went back down, he followed us back down, and then he took a real interest in Andy's REM Bear for some reason. I love the fact that Paradox has found a cucumber emoji.
Careful there, Paradox. You'll be sending Verdoc wrong kind of messages.
Yep.
But yeah, Robin, it was amazing because it was like this little Robin was following us everywhere, literally everywhere, wherever we went. Weren't he, Andy? He was there, and the garden's big. You know, it ain't a tiny little 12 by 12 garden. It's a fair sized piece of land. But we did get interrupted a few times because it's near to a lot of parkland in it, and we'd got the local idiots on the mopeds and stuff. So, you know, and it did. But the other weird thing was which I ain't going to actually go into detail on, but we did have something else which we found really funny that seemed to be following us around as well, which we'll obviously mention in the videos. But that was another interesting thing we had happen there tonight as well. And it moved. It definitely moved. It actually followed Ellen, didn't it? When Ellen left, it actually left us for a short time and then came back again, which was quite interesting. But you know, we'll go into more detail on that on the videos because I don't want to ruin the videos. Cause,
that's it.
You know, but it was an interesting day today. Really enjoyed it. And the biggest plus was I did get to top up on the liquid gold, which I had run out of, and Becky nicely provided me with 2 bottles, which I'm actually just about to pour me a wine glass full of one, and the big one's in the fridge, so I can have a glass every night for the next couple of days. Right, is there any questions anybody wants to ask me, Andy, or anybody in the chat? Jamie? No, I don't mean Jamie, do you want? I mean, does anybody want to ask Jamie anything? Do you want to tell people a little bit about what you do, Jamie, over on the wrong side of the Pennines?
Other side at Pennines.
No, the wrong side of the Pennines.
Total Darkness Paranormal with a Lancashire-based paranormal team. There's absolutely nothing we won't investigate. If you tell us it's scary, we'll probably go and have a look. We are currently working on getting a couple of public events going at the moment. So if you want to join us on Facebook and keep your eyes peeled for anything like that, anyone's absolutely welcome as long as they get themselves a ticket. Not a problem.
Do you want to post the link to your Facebook in the chat so people can?
Yeah, I'll do that now.
I have actually got a Facebook as well, but if you go onto the channel header, I've actually put it in the channel header now, my Facebook details. It's basically facebook.com with above paranormal on the end of it. And Andy's got one as well. Do you want to put yours in the chat as well, Andy?
Oh, yeah, can do.
And Barnsley Moot if you want to advertise that as well. Another thing Andy does, which I don't know if you're all aware of, is he run, along with Ellen, they actually run a lot of various events with Barnsley Moot, and we've been to a couple of them. We did rune making the first time and wand whittling. Was it last week or the week before, Andy? I can't remember. Time's just flying. 2 weeks ago, was it?
It is. 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, we had a great time at the wand whittling. And funnily enough, the room we were in does actually have activity occasionally while we're in there, which is really interesting.
Yes. And I got some interesting results on Spirit Box in there as well.
Mark wants to know, Jamie, if you want to have a look at his cucumber because it's scary.
I don't know, I'm a bit worried about it being pickled.
Kat says we need to arrange to come over again in the new year.
For some reason, it won't let me post my link.
Just type something in the chat. Just type hello in the chat.
Yeah, it's let me say hello.
Hang on. Now post your link. Yes, Jamie, if you leave me a message on the channel on this in the comments on this video, I'll get in touch with you. I'd like that if you wouldn't mind, because I'll tend to do. Is it letting you do it now?
It won't let me do it, no.
It should do because you're now mod. If you type again, you should be blue now.
Just give me one moment and I'll try again.
I hope I set you as mod and not blocked you from.
Yeah, you've set me as mod, but it just won't post the link for some strange reason.
Hang on, let me just pop out of this a bit and I'll post it for you.
Parking, not a problem.
Total darkness. Right, this is when I get back in. This is the link to Jamie's Facebook group, and that is basically Total Darkness, or should be on Facebook.
Yeah, it's popped up now.
There you go, and that's the link to Jamie's. Obviously, mine is just youtube.com/aboveparanormal, and you can actually that. Oh, excuse me, excuse me. I was about to sneeze. That takes you to that will take you to my page, and you can link to the group from the page. But in regards to that reading, Robin, yeah, I would, I'd love a reading because, like I say, I do them for everybody else, but I don't actually read for myself. So I never get a reading. I might actually give Andy my cards one day and let him try and read me and see what he comes up with. It'd be
that'd be interesting.
It'd be interesting, actually.
Yeah, it would.
Because,
I mean, I know Becky's trying to learn as well, so
yeah,
it'd be good practice for her.
well, Becky can do it then, and it's an excuse to get her on the talking on the channel.
Yeah, definitely.
Because believe me, Becky comes across as very quiet and innocent, but she's got quite an evil sense of humour when it kicks in.
Especially when people are walking into trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to mention as well, if it's all right.
Yes, Robin,
about
no problem. Go on, Andy. Yeah, sorry.
I was going to mention an upcoming sort of investigation I've got coming up.
Yeah, go on.
So me, myself, and Mark Vernon, who was in chat. You all might know Roses, and we've been kindly invited by Rose to go and spend 2 nights at her house that she labels as the Hell's House. So on the 9th and the 10th, there's going to be a live stream. And then us three have got house to ourselves on 10th, and we're going to be doing a video there. So that's quite exciting.
Yeah, that's good. See, I always find Rose's house really creepy because it's all dollies and stuff, and they're not
Yeah.
my favourite thing. I've got to be honest, as Sam will tell you.
Oh, they'll going to dab off the shelf at you.
Yeah, I always think Rose should team up with Sam. They should get together and have a dolly session between them, because Sam's got some really horrible dolls as well, one-eyed buggers and all sorts of things that are really creepy. She's even got a Annabelle replica and the proper Annabelle. The Raggedy Ann doll, not the bloody one they used in the movie. You can craft your own card. You can actually craft your own cards, Becky. There's nothing stopping you doing that at all. The thing with tarot cards, though, is you're actually best to stick to, once you've got a set, stick to them. Don't keep jumping between sets, because it don't tend to. You find it don't work. You're best bonding with one set of cards first properly before you move on to others. But once you've found a set you're comfortable with, go for it. I am meant to be doing, Becky. Are you? I spoke to Andy about doing the artwork for them. Becky, I cannot stand that doll. I think he's called Robert. That one-eyed doll. I'll call him One-Eyed Willie. he really. I'll call him One-Eyed Willie out of the Goonies. He really freaks me out, Andy. And Sam, I noticed Sam did a bloody video the other day, and that Raggedy Ann doll was peeping from behind the door. And then I did one the other day where Robert, the one-eyed bugger, was sitting in the corner the entire stream, and it was like he was staring at me with his one good eye. Really do not like that doll. There's something about that doll, it just gives me bad vibes. Oh, I've just had some summer up about that London Bridge thing. Jamie can turn your key noise thingy off on.
I ain't got a clue how to do it. Unless I can. Hang on.
Robin, send me a message to my Above Paranormal. If you send me a private DM to my Above Paranormal group, I can contact you from there. If you just join the group, I can do it from there. That's Above Paranormal, not a boss. I can't even type my own channel name. Jesus Christ. But yeah, if anybody's into the dolly thing, I do strongly suggest you watch Sam's channel, because Sam's got more dollies that are actually healthy for you. Hang on, let me put the link in for you. If I can spell it right. So when is it you're going to Roses, Andy? Is it March?
It's 9th and 10th of December.
Are you going December?
Yeah.
I've spelt it right, I think, Above Paranormal. That's the link for it anyway. That should take you straight through to the page.
Rose has just put a little teaser video up. It's quite threatening, to be fair. There's a guy with a knife with a load of blood on it. Saying we've got somebody coming to investigate house.
Yeah, but that dolly you've got, Mark, comes with a puncture repair kit, done it in case you bite her.
Not keep you warm for lonely nights.
Fiver to you on plus postage. What's a fiver to me? I think, Mr. Vernon, I think Cat's offering to be your blow-up doll for fiver plus postage. The bridal doll is the one that I fear the most. I keep it in a glass case and leave it there. Sam, I'd keep it in the bin. That's where I'd keep it. Honestly. Or in the nearest incinerator. I really can't cope with dolls. Have you got any, Jamie?
No, I don't.
What's your opinion on them?
If the pot dolls, they give me the heebie-jeebies.
Pot dolls? What are pot dolls?
Pot dolls give me the heebie-jeebies.
What's a pot
They all
doll?
just look like they're going to dive on you off a shelf.
Alright. You need to go and have a look at Sam's doll, the one-eyed. I think he's called Robert, with the one eye. And it ain't actually been gouged out. His face has actually been moulded, so he's got one eye. And the other one's shut like it's been gouged out at birth. Disgusting.
Sounds like something I'd want to kick down the stairs.
Sorry. Honestly, he freaks me out every time I see him. What's not me? Cat. Oh, right. I was selling some to Mama Cass, right. What do you think? This is cat bloody eBay?
AliExpress.
I ain't even going to ask why, Mr. Vernon. So has anybody got any questions they'd like to ask, paranormal wise? Either me, Andy or Jamie, or all three? Feel free. The House of Rose has plenty of dolls. Yeah, I know, Stephen. See, I've never been a big fan of dolls or mannequins. I can't understand why people like mannequins in their house either. You know,
I'm guilty. I've got a mannequin at my house.
Where?
I'll have to get
upstairs.
pictures and I'll end up talking to it.
It's got no head.
All the more reason to talk to it.
Makes you wonder what he uses that for.
Wouldn't you like to know? It's got a cucumber in place with its head and it's called Mark.
Is it pickled?
Definitely.
Yeah, but Rose has definitely got too many dollies for my liking. Is that a tattoo on your hand, Jamie? Oh, she's got loads of tattoos, Mr. Vernon.
Absolutely covered. From my neck down.
What was my first investigation? My first investigation was actually back in the Midlands. We did one at a place called Imley Hall. And it was actually owned by the council, and we actually got special permission to go into the cellars where, and I'm going back years now, one of the council workers apparently used to regularly have a shovel through at his head. There was a big pile of coal in the cellar, and the cellars are massive because the hall is huge, and it was like a maze literally under the house. And there were all these creepy little corridors with rooms leading off and stuff. And there was a big pile of... It was like a coal store in the one. And apparently the guy who used to go down and fire because they were the old coal-fired furnaces, apparently somebody used to pick the shovel up and throw it at him quite a lot. And literally aim for his head as well, believe it or not. He didn't just chuck the shovel at him, it used to aim for his head.
Wow.
Sam says, I thought I had a Logan Paul situation today. Found two mannequin half covered in a green tarp. It scared me so bad. Yeah, it would have done me as well. See, this has always been my biggest worry about, when you go into these abandoned houses, because people do, homeless people do find the way into them to sleep. And I always have this biggest dread of going in and finding like a body in there sort of thing. There's maybe been in there a bit longer than it should have been.
Me and Becky have been very, very, very close to that situation.
Oh God. Yeah.
There's a pub. Well, it's not too far away from here, and it's been abandoned for over 10 years. So there were an old fence one day. So me and Becky went in for a nosy.
Yeah.
We reached top of the stairs, went and like poked us into this room, and there was like a couch there with a load of cigarette butts and porn magazines and stuff, you know.
So you collected them all up.
Well, I had a quick like knocked at the side, you know, and I'm like, alright, cool. Anyway, Becky goes, "Look behind you." So I turned around, and I've got a photograph of this, and there's a chair in the corner of the room with noose up around one of beams on the ceiling. And I went over to it and tested it, and yes, it was fully functional.
Right.
And I like, that's just in case for that poor guy that live in, or girl, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could have walked in there and they could have been dangling and nobody would have known.
Yeah. See, I see. Sam said the same. It's since my abandoned explored days, it was my biggest fear. You know, I'd hate to go into an abandoned building and find a body in there, because, you know, one, it ain't pleasant. Two, it's the sort of thing that sticks in your head and is hard to shake off. And three, it's all the hassle of, you know, the technicalities of it after. You know, having to ring the police and getting everybody involved and going through all that lot and everything. So I'd rather not find a dead body anywhere. And again, I ain't a big fan of going to these big overhyped places either. I'd like to go to East Drive just to prove the fact that, you know, because people are well aware I don't believe for 1 minute that East Drive is haunted by a black monk. Not at all. Andy says there's something else there which I would like to go and have a look, you know, a look for myself.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I have to with that one as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to East Drive looking for black monks, because I really do not believe there is or has ever been a black monk at East Drive. They were in the pub there when we was in. We heard them go upstairs when we was in. Stop singing at me. Please stop singing. Andy, can you talk a second? Kyle's singing at me who wants to go out.
Yeah, no,
Back
it
in a
is.
sec.
But yeah, like Becky said with that pub that we went to and that Nilsson up, when we were on his way back out or in that staircase, we heard them come down, but we couldn't find staircase to get upstairs onto upper levels, and they were up there. They could have just jumped out on us. So have you got out coming up, Jamie?
No, we've got a public event coming up for George Thorpe, which is local to us.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get us into another pub that's local that used to be old police cells.
Okay.
You've still got the cells in cellar and stuff like that. So
I'm back.
we'll be there.
I'll tell you where I'd like for us to go as a group, Andy. And I think you can arrange it. Have you ever heard of the Emergency Services Museum in Sheffield?
Yeah.
Now that's supposed to be, you know, have some real activity in it. It'd be interesting to see what, because not only was it like the local fire station, it was also the local police station upstairs with the cells and stuff. And apparently a lot of the cells and stuff are active, but it'd be interesting to see what exactly is active in there and why things are active in there. But I believe you can rent that place. So, you know, I might look into it and see what the cost is of it. Because you've got all the old fire engines and ambulances and everything in there, and that would be an interesting one to do. But see, the thing I've got with East Drive is the cost of it. You know, it's just too commercial. And I don't like the fact they've left it 80s style. I think, to me, it's more like a glorified film set than an actual place I'd really... And I know, you know, the big channels like to get it because they know it guarantees views, which going to any famous place does. But there's just something about East Drive that just turns me off every time I think about it. I need a loony ward, not a prison. But I'd like to go and see if there is a brownie there. You know, but I wouldn't go with on the understanding there's a ghost in there, because I honestly don't think there is. I think if anything did go on in that respect, it went when the Pritchards did. And it's just been carried on as a bloody commercial thing since then. Oh, have they got a nurse in there as well, Mark? I didn't realise that. Now, see, because when I first moved up here, up to North, I actually lived in Sheffield. I used to pass that every day. But it would be an interesting place to go and do. Because apparently, particularly the one cell upstairs, there's quite an aggressive male entity in there. Or what they claim is a male entity. But, it might be somewhere else if you think about it. If it gets aggressive and offended when you go in there.
All sounds like challenges, doesn't it?
Have a chat and give me the history of what cats. If you're on about East Drive, I've really dug into the history of East Drive, believe me, and way back before the Pritchards. It's like the claims of the Gallas and stuff aren't accurate, and the monks being on the land aren't accurate. The only thing that is accurate is actually the well. That is the only thing that is actually accurate about East Drive. Your people are using it for ratings. It is sad. The thing is also, Robin, I think the place needs a chance to have a break. Because whatever is in there, it can't be pleasant for them being invaded 365 days of the year. Do you think, Andy?
Yeah, I do think they just need to open it up a few times a year, not like it is. No, it's too much. Plus, all people's energies interfering with it as well.
Exactly. There's also, and there's all different people are trying all different things in there. It's bound to affect the atmosphere of the place. If anything, all they're doing is just filling it up with residual energy.
That's the sort of thing. There's not enough people considering that they're not performing monkeys.
Yeah. See, this is what always annoys me about a lot of investigators. One is the thing that they think everywhere they go, everything's a performing seal, and it's there to jump through hoops and perform and do whatever they want it to. And the other thing, which has been a more recent thing that is really grates on my nerves, is all this constant swearing and goading at things and showing things no respect. As a person, you wouldn't want somebody coming into your environment and effing and blinding at you to get you to do something, because let's be honest, 99% of people are going to do the opposite. They're going to pull away and ignore rather than, do what they're being demanded of when they're being called C's and B's and God knows what.
Yeah, totally. It reminds me of Yvette Fielding at Pendle. That wound me up something rotten.
Oh, when that just went to mass hysteria.
She was so unbelievably disrespectful. I wanted to punch her myself.
But you see all these teams now, and they go into these so-called most haunted whatevers in Europe, and it's come on you B's, come on you C's, talk. And I'm thinking, why would anything want to communicate with somebody who just walks into what is technically their space and start talking to them and treating them like that? It's the respect level is just through the floor. If you watch that video that Andy republished the other night of East Drive, you look at there was no demands made, there was no nastiness involved. Look how many responses you got on the bear and the spirit box and everything, Andy.
Yeah.
And a lot of these teams go in and they get nothing, and they just sit there going, oh, I've just heard this, I've just heard that, but they've got no recorded proof of it. Yet when you went in there, it was constant on that bear.
Yeah.
Because it was, it must have been a breath of fresh air for him to actually have somebody go in and treat it like that.
Yeah. Well, what it was, Kat had got some guests in the living room, and like Becky White stood watching what they were up to, and I was sat at the bottom of the staircase, and I was like set REM Bear up in coal shed. Obviously you get caught up in what were famously, documented back then, don't you? You know what I mean? And I got a camera on, and I walked, something's not right. I walked over, and I looked at the side, and I saw that little conservatory room, and I was like, there's something in there. You know what I mean? So I slipped bearing and started walking, and it started going off.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So that's when I went and sat down behind him. And I mean, what you don't see is after I did my boxing there were another hours worth nearly a box that the guests went in and did with it. And that was phenomenal as well that we didn't record.
Yeah.
It was absolutely phenomenal. Answers were just coming off like. Oof, oof,
But
oof.
Dan, you always find that's typical. When most, well, today was a perfect example. Look at the stuff we
Yeah,
got through that spirit box when I turned it on at the beginning. And
yeah,
it was just on for something for us to listen to while we were getting ready. And we got the F word, and I don't mean the FUCK word, but we got the F word 3 times.
yes,
And once it even said F plane, which I thought was really interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's always the way. It was like here the other night when I said to Jace, go and stand in the because I've had this Roberts and I ain't really used it until today, and I was quite pleased with what I was getting out of it actually at that stage.
It's very decent.
Yeah,
Very decent.
and the thing I like about it as well is I have yet to have it freeze on me. You know how the 12587 sticks and you have to restart it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the only problem, man.
Yeah, it has never once stopped scanning. But the reason I got that one was because Sam had got one, and I was watching Sam's channel the one day, and I thought, I'm going to take the dive and try an ACT radio rather than my PSB7. And I'd been watching different channels of the different radios they'd got, and I thought I ain't paying 12587 money because I don't like the way they stick. To me that it's annoying to me having to keep pressing. And I know it's lazy, it's only a bloody button press, but to me I'd rather just sit it down and have the conversation. I don't want to keep having to bother pressing the button. And I'd noticed Sam's always went on, and when it come and I sat there and I'm thinking, oh God, I've got to act this thing, and I knew what I'd got to do, and I could see the circuit board, but it weren't over clear which side wire I'd got to cut. I knew it was the mute wire, and I knew it was either the fifth from the left or the fifth from the right. So I had to take a wild guess in the end, but I did it, and it's up until now, and I've used it 5 or 6 times on and off, and I've yet to have it stick on a scan. It just constant, and the other thing it does is it beeps. When it gets to the end of the scan, it beeps, so it's going through the sequence again as well, which I really like.
Jamie's got an old radio that needs looking at to see if we can get it to sweep.
I do. I think it'd make a right beauty.
Yeah.
Is it a digital radio or a manual one?
I got a bloody clue.
To me, it looks like an old manual, because it don't seem to be like an LCD for any numbers or all like that. Mm-hmm. So I said to her, like, next time we meet up, we'll have to have a look at it and see if it can be done without like putting an external sweeper in.
Yeah. But those Roberts, I didn't actually realise. Roberts is actually based here in Rotherham, Andy. When I was looking for the circuit board, they're in Mexborough, in Rotherham. They're an S65 postcode. But I also found out the board is exactly the same as the Sangean 505, and it was also exported into America for the Radio Shacks. It's actually the same brand as one of the Radio Shacks. It's all the same board. But literally, with the majority of them, all you do is cut the mute button on them.
Yeah.
With the Roberts, and I think that's how it works with the 587s as well. I think, innit?
Yes, I believe so.
I think they break the pin or something down there, or cut the wire on the ribbon.
Yeah. I know there were a really cheap 587 on from the States not long ago. They were only 60 quid.
Yeah, but the problem is, you don't know whether they're going to charge the import costs this end. This is the gamble you always take with stuff coming from the States. Yeah. Sometimes they don't charge you, and then other times they can literally double the price of what you've ordered with the import taxes.
Yeah. They did say top listing though, which I found weird. I don't know if there's any truth to this, but it was the unhackable version.
Yeah, apparently there's 2 versions. One is really easy, and the other one they said didn't work. But I've actually seen a video of somebody actually. Kaya, will you please stop doing that? Of somebody actually hacking one of the supposedly unhackable ones, And I think it's something to do where they change from pins to ribbons or something. It's something to do with that. Hi,
Right.
Rose. Welcome to the channel. Rose is in. Andy.
Yeah. Yeah. I tipped her off that we're alive on your stream.
We've just been talking about your creepy doll collection, yours and Sam's. But yeah, a lot of the digital radios you can literally hack them, and it is literally with the majority of them just the matter of taking the cover off and splitting, because they're normally two boards. That Roberts was, I had to split the two boards to get at the wires to cut, but I literally had to snip one wire. Now, if I'd have gone to, and I ain't gonna, there's a company out there who over here who you can go to, and I think they're extremely expensive for what they do. You know,
Yeah.
and I'd have probably been charged 120, 130 quid for that radio. It cost 30 quid off eBay, and I did it myself. You know, that's how easy it is to convert your own equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. Sam says he thinks there's 3 versions of the 12587. See, I was only aware of 2, Sam. I know
Yeah,
when.
same, yeah.
Right, guys, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you.
No
Yeah,
problem,
yeah,
Jamie.
Jamie.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, and
welcome.
I hope you have a brilliant rest of the stream.
We will do. Don't worry. Thank you very much for coming on, Jamie.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
See you soon, Jamie.
See you soon.
See you
Love
soon.
you all. Bye.
Bye. Here you go. I've turned her off, so we don't have to worry about. But yeah, I was only aware of 2 of them, Andy. But I know for a while they were claiming that second version of the 12587 was unhackable. But I did actually find a video on YouTube a couple of months ago where somebody had actually done it. You know, and they hadn't added nothing, but it looked like it was a lot more fiddlier than it was with the first version.
I know there's like there were like an updated replica that they fetched out as well, weren't there? Which were apparently really crap. It weren't very good at all.
But yeah, I only found out the other day that apparently Robert, Sanjian, and Radio Shack actually share a lot of boards.
Right.
Once you take the cover off them, they're all actually the same radio sort of thing. So there's probably radios out there which are actually identical boards to the 12587, which people ain't aware of.
Yes, more likely.
You know, but I've never thought that it's like, you know, people say, oh, it's the, you know, the big daddy of ITC, but to me, I don't think there's any such thing as a big daddy of ITC. I think it's, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever works.
Yeah, in all honesty, you know, I always thought I got one because of what, you know, for level of communication we've had through SB7. I always thought to myself, I would love to put one to test, and that's why I got mine.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been mediocre, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't scream that it's all. You know, I'd still always revert back to me SB7 setup. You know, and you know, I'm not saying we entered good results, but we have.
Yeah.
But it's not been quite the same.
What I love about the PSB7 is you've got your variable scan rates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, I have found that if you know, I've been to locations and you could set it on say 150, 250 milliseconds, and I've hardly got anything through. So I've sped it up to like 50 milliseconds, and suddenly you start getting really good communication on it. And then I've been to other places, and it's vice versa. If I've run it at 50 milliseconds, I've been getting nothing. If I've knocked it back to 150, 200, suddenly you're getting really good communication, and that's what I like about the PSB7. I have a PSB7, and when I cleaned it up, they're talking like a conversation with you. I've had conversations on mine, Robin. I have literally had 2-3 minute long conversations with whatever it is on, you know, I ain't saying it's dead people, I ain't saying it's demon, well, I don't believe in demons anyway, you know, but I have had conversations with something on that radio that have literally been, you know, and it ain't been like, you know, random sentences. I have actually asked questions and got intelligent responses for every question I've asked.
Yeah, they can be really, really good.
It's the same with, you know, they say, oh, it's fake white noise, but I have actually had voices come through on that fake white noise, Andy. And this is what makes me think they're not manipulating the radio voices as such. They're actually manipulating frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
I'm
why it
exactly
works.
the same.
This is why it worked with white noise generators, which were the
Yeah.
original spirit boxes, because they had no voices on them. It literally was all white noise. But you could you could hear full sentences coming through white noise
Mm-hmm.
generators, and there's no way people can claim that's radio bleed over or, you know, radio pollution because they simply don't pick up radio. Rose, it's not as difficult as you think to hack a radio. You know, the only reason people think it's difficult is there's a lot of people out there who hack them and charge a lot of money for them, and they don't want people to realise how easy of a DIY job it is. The Texan PL660 is a great radio. I actually looked for a Texan, Sam, but they were like 130 quid, and I thought, you know, I don't really want to be paying that for another spirit box. You know, when my PSB7 performs really well. You know, but a lot of people. Don't you think a lot of people are too frightened to experiment, Andy? You know, you might as well just buy yourself a cheap radio and try and do it yourself. You know,
Yeah.
if you knacker it, it's just 20 quid down the drain, in it or something. If you do it right, you know, you've got yourself a damn good spirit box.
I'm always keeping an eye out at charity shops and stuff. You know, for like if they've got a decent list, I'll pick it up and have a play. You know, definitely see if we can get it going.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right, Robin. That's what I was saying. You know, I think it's actually the frequencies that they work on, not the actual voices. But I was just using the white noise generators as an example because they were used in the original spirit communication experiments, and there was absolutely no voice coming over a white noise box at all. It was literally all white noise generation. And Mark in a Howley has some good evidence too. Was funny on the Judge Rinder as well. This will be a brilliant live. Can't wait. Who is Mr. Vernon on about?
I don't know if it's something Rose put up. Maybe. I don't know. I ain't got a clue.
I know a good free spirit box apps. I started to use them to back up my medium readings years ago. If anyone would like to know the real free ones that actually work. See, I've never had much success with apps. My biggest gripe with apps is the vast majority of them use radio banks rather than, you know, a much more random sampling. I think, you know, with a radio bank you can possibly get the same things coming through over and over and over again. Paradox fossils. I have an old transistor radio. Only works outside but not near the portal. It changes. See, I've got a problem. You know that Robert Sandy?
Yeah.
And it's the same with the PSB7. I can't use them in my living room.
Really?
Yeah, all I get is this really horrible interference. This really strange noise. But as soon as I
is it like a really harsh, like a? Because I get like it's same at my mum's house.
It's like a wah-wah noise. Really.
Yeah.
But as soon as I walk out, cross the threshold out of the living room into the kitchen, vanishes, and I pick things up.
Yeah.
But here in the living room, it's awful. You know, that's why I don't do spirit boxes on my channel, because I literally cannot get anything through in the living room. You know, obviously when I move house, that might change if that one, you know, if I'm getting better sound down there. But this living room is just terrible for radio signals, and I don't know why. The S-Box. Is the S-Box that one that they bought, it was designed with, so you could put an SSD card in it and stuff and it could be programmed? Can you remember that one, Andy? I think Sam bought one.
Is S-Box that blocks our talk radio? Or something like that? I don't know.
Somebody brought one out and it was like a red box. I'm pretty sure Sam actually bought one. And then every so often they release a new firmware for it, and what they did, which really put me off it, when it actually picked up a signal, it paused for a few seconds. Coco, it paused for a few seconds.
Yeah.
So to me, that was interfering with the signal straight away. You know, they should have just left it as it originally was. But then, you know, I don't hear about it after that. They were very popular for a few months. Then I just ain't heard of them since. Nobody seems to be using them. So
Right.
if Sam's still on, he'll probably tell you what them called. But Sam actually bought one, and I'm sure Paratech had one as well. But I think they were called the S-Box or the Spirit Box. But, you know, I just don't like the way the firmware was programmed to pause as soon as it picked up a signal. See, Robin, I started off in, you know, I'm 50 in January, and I was actually 15 when I started at the Spiritualist Church. And I actually did, you know, joined a development circle. The problem I had with the Spiritualist Church is they're still very religious here, and I am not religious in any way, shape or form. What was it called, Sam? What was that box called? Was it the S-Box? Yeah, Sam will tell us what it is in a minute. But I'm surprised you don't see it, Andy. It was marketed, you know, it was marketed as a competitor to the PSB 7 and the PSB 11.
Really?
But honestly, they released this update for the firmware that put this actual, and it deliberately stops the radio from scanning for a second or two when it's a good signal. Now, to me, that's causing, you know, it's introducing radio bleed. There you go, the S-Box. It was the S-Box. You know, but you hear nothing about them now. I have pad ones now because I'm more into ITC learning on different things. A lot of the old school paranormal investigators, back in the day before digital telly and everything, they, believe it or not, they used to use TVs tuned off station, and that you know, they'd get visual ITC as well as audio ITC. You know, they'd have faces appear in the random patterns on the screen. It was quite good, some of it. Have you ever used a PSB 11? Because everybody who I've spoke to who's got a PSB 11 said they ain't overly keen on it. They'd prefer the PSB 7.
They're all right. It's because it's so complicated to set up.
Right.
But there is an app that's a little bit like magnitude mode.
Mm-hmm.
And we did try it, and it sounded pretty good on that mode. But it's a really fiddly way to set it up. It's but no, as long as you set it up that way, it's all right.
Because you can actually set the PSB, because it's basically two PSB 7s in a box, isn't it? And apparently you can have one scanning up and one scanning down at the same time, can't you?
Yeah, and you can scan AM and FM at the same time as well.
Yeah. And plus it also senses temperature as well, doesn't it?
Yes.
See, because I was tempted to get one, but I'd got my heart set on a PSB 7. So I went for the PSB 7 instead. And I'm glad I did, because I actually really like my PSB 7.
I always have as well.
It's just that variability you've got with them. Rose says she just started to use a smoke machine. Rose, I've seen a few channels that have used smoke machines. It's quite interesting, but to me, I think a lot of the time, if you've got an active imagination, you can see things that ain't there. You know, they're a bit prone to pareidolia for well, I suppose the spirit boxes as well, but you know, it's whatever suits you, innit? It's like water scrying as well. I've never done any good with water scrying. Have you ever tried that, Andy?
Yeah.
See, no, I've done all right with smoke scrying, and I did really. I tried it with ink as well in water, so
right,
it was black.
Yeah.
And I did really well with that. But normal water scrying, I was absolutely crap at.
Right.
Couldn't get nothing off that. I use WavePad and it cleans it up. You see, when you talk, you get direct answers. It pretty awesome once cleared, yeah. See a lot of people down like reverb boxes and echoes and guitar noise gates, but I actually think they help clean, the raw sound up. A little bit of reverb, I think, on a spirit box makes it sound clearer. It don't distort it. I think it makes it sound clearer, don't you, Andy?
I tend to like it, but only problem I've got, I don't tend to be able to hear it properly unless I'm facing it.
Yeah.
So, like today when I was sat behind my box,
Yeah.
I was missing everything. I was like...
See, no, it was coming out lovely and clear to me because I was in front of it.
Yeah. But it is just a touch of
Yeah.
reverb on that, just a small touch.
Yeah, you don't need to go over the... I hate these when they've got the echo pedal on them and they turn it up that high that every word lasts like 5 seconds, and I think, it's just bleeding over. It's bleeding over into it, but I think, a touch of reverb and a touch of echo, as long as it ain't over the top, can actually help define what you're hearing better.
Yeah. You see, one of the most interesting things that... And it were another Tommy guidance. A lot of people's in here will know who Tommy is. But he once got me and Claudia to phone each other.
Right.
Off his mobile phones in the same room, right? And what you've got to do, you've got to phone a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Set both on them. Yeah. Set both on them to loudspeaker.
Right. Yeah.
And like now, if I said to you, hello.
Yeah.
What you'll get is after the hello word, you'll get a wave noise that bounces between both phones.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically starts slow and it goes whoa, 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 yeah?
Yeah.
And in there, when he were at his strongest point, when we first did what we did, he could speak through it. And numerous times we had him set Tommy in that wave.
All right.
Albeit really low. Because one time I went to him, you're going to have to speak up, mate, 'cause you're really quiet. And he went, I'm trying. He replied instantly. So that experiment...
Did you get a bit tested?
But yeah. But that experiment in itself could do with looking into a lot more.
Yeah. Sam says, I think just a tiny bit of reverb will bring up the sound. Exactly, Sam. You don't need much, but it does help clarify what you're hearing. Thing is, you aren't going to be good at every form of communication, divination, and it's about finding what exactly, Kat, exactly. But you got people out there who seem to think they're world experts on everything, and it simply ain't the case. And when you ask a question, a lot of people don't have patience to... That is one of my biggest pet hates, that, Robin, is when they fire off questions literally one after the other. And I think, well, if you'd wait for an answer, you might get a better spirit box session.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. A lot of people expect it instantly.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can get an answer to it 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
You'll hear something that right comes back to your first question, and I'm willing to accept that as a late answer. Definitely.
Yeah. Lost Mama Casper. I must have missed something. But yeah, that is one of my pet hates as well, is people, firing off questions like them spitting out machine gun bullets. Have to be careful of your brain looking for something that isn't there. It takes a bit of practice. Yeah, see, the thing... It's like, see, scrying is a bit like pareidolia. Your brain actually... And it's the same with tarot reading. Your brain associates, and it's different associations for different people. Like when Andy looked at the cards the other night, he was convinced it was a scorpion, whereas I know it's an actual crayfish. But like I said to Andy, if you're seeing it as a scorpion at the time, that's important, because that's your subconscious telling you something that that is important to know with a card. And people consciously block the subconscious, and it's a hell of a lot more powerful than your conscious mind is. See, the other thing I find interesting, Andy, when people say it's radio bleed over, is when you have like a conversation on the spirit box and you're actually getting responses in the same voice. Now, if that was scanning through the frequencies, you'd be getting bits of sentences in various voices. But
Yes.
I've had conversations where they've gone on for, like I say, a couple of minutes, and it's been the same voice.
Yeah.
If it literally was just chopping up radio waves, you'd be getting. Well, it'd be words, but it'd be pitched in all different. It'd be chopped, wouldn't it, into sections of pitches?
Well, yeah.
People want an answer like now. I can get an answer sometimes the next spirit box. I will get the answer. Do you know I used to have that happen on the Ouija board as well, Andy?
All right.
Where we'd ask a question and the following week I'd get the answer to it, and I used to find that really interesting. You may not get it the same night, but you'd get it like the following week, and you'd get a response to, and and that sometimes referenced the question, so you knew that was what they were giving the answer to. That used to be quite interesting. Sam says the guy who invented the multi-scan method, Frank, is that Sumption, said he just put it on and rarely asked too many questions. Yeah, you've got to have patience, and I do think your frame of mind affects it as well. Do you think, Andy? Do you think the
Yes,
fake?
definitely.
Do you think the fake can sense whether people are genuine with them or not?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And do you think that actually plays a part with them when you're communicating with them?
Do you think what? Sorry.
Do you think it actually plays a big part when you're communicating with them?
Yeah, it does. Like I've always had this thing where I can get put into a stinker of a mood,
Mhm.
and I'm one of them people where I'll carry it for a while until I check my sanity.
Yeah.
And guilty as they are, some of my ex-teammates were always guilty of putting me in a mood before going out. And it got to a point where I started saying, if they come and put me in a mood, I ain't going. Because we used to notice the communication would be flat.
Yeah.
So even just being in a bad mood over something doesn't help you at all. And they'll not talk to you. Because you need that. You need to be neutral with them. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And if you're carrying a bloody, positive, negative sort of side to you, approaching them, they're not gonna respond.
Yeah. See, I noticed that tonight when we went out today. Like I said, once we'd got that perfect balance, things changed.
Yeah.
And it was like instantly changed, which was. And I think, maybe certain things like that, and then other things ain't quite so bothered about it.
Yeah.
But there,
I always say.
Go on.
I'm going to say it always depends on what you're dealing with at times, doesn't it, for that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think whatever's there is, he's a big supporter of balance, because that's what it felt like.
Yes, and we picked up on that first time being there.
Yeah. But it was interesting today. I enjoyed that, and I'm sipping some of my liquid gold as we speak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Kaya keeps trying to stick her nose in it. When I brought the bear down, you should have seen her jumping around, all excited, wagging her tail. I'm like, no, you ain't chewing this up, because Shebas like to pull. They don't tend to rip things up. They pull the eyes off teddies, and then they carefully pick all the stuff in out through the empty eye sockets.
Lovely.
Yeah,
brilliant.
So I have to keep an eye on her with the REM Bear, because I got all excited tonight thinking I was going to give it her.
Yeah.
As I come into the living room with her.
One of the most amazing things we ever did with a teddy, we emptied all the stuff in out of this teddy. When we used to keep rats, and we put teddy skin in with them. We all cut it back, and they all piled in. Every one of them, and there's this teddy sits up, and the arms were moving about, and I was like, that looks amazing.
But honestly, you should have said, and as 10, you think I'd be growing out of wanting teddies and stuff, but I got all dancing around, wagging a tail. I'm like, no, you ain't having this. You ain't chewing my bloody REM Bear up. Forget that, lady. Cat says, yeah, my dogs really want to get my boofy too. What's your boofle, Cat?
Cat, you're not meant to bring stuff like you're not meant to bring stuff like that, cat.
You can be arrested for things like that, you know, Cat. Encouraging your dogs to go after your boofle.
Oh dear.
Our big beast isn't bothered about the bears. Now he's happy to just sit on people's laps and slobber all over them, isn't
Yeah. As long as he's got his own little
he? Yeah.
green frog, he's alright. He leaves all our stuff alone.
See, Coco does as well. Coco ain't really a big chewy but Coco likes to pick things up and stick them in the basket and then sit on them like a dragon. Because when we first started, because it was really shy and frightened because it was a rescue,
Yeah.
for some reason, I like kids next door, and they used to give her dolls and toys and stuff. And
Okay.
yeah, but it was like 20, 30 dolls in the space of 3 days. And I came into the kitchen, and she'd literally piled them all into the basket, and she was lying on top of them like Smorg out of The Hobbit. and they're all there now. Kaya likes to pinch them occasionally and rip them up, but Coco gets really upset if a pinches one of a dragon horde.
The horde. That's brilliant. Oh, I'm just nipping off for a coffee. I'll be 2 seconds.
Okie dokie, no problem. My cat Coco is sat looking at you, but yeah, because one of my dogs is called Coco. But Kaya's the one who I think senses things in the house. Coco just tends to bark at stuff, but Kaya will often go to the bottom of my stairs and just stand there staring up the stairs for like 5 minutes at a time. And Shibas have got this thing where they adopt a certain pose because they're hunting dogs in Japan. And when they track something, they're like cats, they go into a certain stalking pose, and she'll do that for 5 minutes at a time and just stare up the top of the stairs. But that was where I saw that big shadow at the top of the stairs. And it's where Jason saw the shadow of the dog a couple of times. Paid real without... Oh, Robin's still talking about the apps. But yeah, but you know, I think Kaya senses things here. Yeah, Sam, Sheba's like squeakies, but as soon as the squeaky dies in them, they're of no interest to him. But I think Kaya quite often senses somewhere in here. Coco tends to get scared occasionally, and he'll come and sit and snuggle up to you. My Coco is the cat. But yeah, as often staring up the stairs. And it's like I was telling Andy the other night, sometimes if I get out of bed in the middle of the night to go to the loo, I have this feeling that there's somebody standing at the bottom of the stairs looking up. And I can't help myself, I always look down the stairs when I go past. I ain't frightened of it or nothing, I just get the impression somebody's standing at the bottom of the stairs looking up at me. But I've got to be careful what I say here, because when I discussed this the other night, I ended up with a coffee full of gravy the following morning. And I actually said to Andy, and it is generally true in this house, anything that happens in the kitchen happens to Jason. Anything that happens upstairs tends to happen to me. But when I said that the other day, I ended up with a coffee full of gravy, so I'm just careful saying that now. Welcome back, by the way, Andy.
Hello.
I'm going to have to shut this door in a minute. I've left it open. Can you just chat a sec while I shut the door?
Yeah, I know it is.
My back door's open for these two, and I'm absolutely froze. Back in a sec.
Yep. So what topic is what were Brett talking about just now? I've got no idea. Oh, we're talking about his dogs. No?
I'm back.
I don't even know what you were talking about.
I was talking about how Kaya looks up the stairs sometimes at some at the top of the stairs, but you know, when I look, I can't.
Nobody in chat would tell me.
I was just saying, Coco doesn't tend to do it, but Kaya, if you don't mind, I want my blanket, thank you. That's another thing as a bugger for pinching the blanket when you're putting it over you. But yeah, Kyra will often stare up the stairs at something and see like a cat. But
Yeah.
but like I say, it was a stairs where I saw that big shadow.
Mm.
But see, that's another thing. I never found that threatening, Andy.
No, no.
It never come across as it was threatening. It just come across as it was being nosy to me. And I know that's a funny thing to say, but I just got the impression it was watching, looking. Oh, Becky, that'd be the ultimate upset for me. That would.
That'd tip him over the edge, that Bex.
It would. It would. I'd be texting you at 1 o'clock in the morning, calling you all things. But that was a shock the other day. That was, and Jamie thought it was funny. The fact I tasted what was floating around on the top to see what it was, but it was just curiosity. Because at the time, Andy, I just thought it was bad coffee, and I was just tasting it, see if it was, the coffee granules had gone off. I didn't realise it was frigging gravy granules. Imagine if you ended up with gravy in your liquid gold. Pippin and Penny definitely sense things here. Is that your dog's cat, Pippin and Penny? My cucumber would. I have 12. Oh, Mama, I couldn't live with 12 cats. To do my nutty.
As far as I know, Pippin and Penny is what she calls both her boobs.
Is it? I thought Penny had been 2 foot lower. Cat lady. Who is talking elemental? Well, that is what Andy specialises in, Robin. Andy specialises in researching the Fae and elemental stuff. Hence why he's called Elemental Encounters.
The little people.
Yep, the shining ones. Apparently they've got some right names, ain't they? Depending on what part of the country you're in.
Oh yeah, there's many different variants to name, and me and Kat were having this discussion the other day because some don't like being called the Fae.
Don't they?
Now it offends them straight away, and they'll just leave area. So terminology's got to be you've got to be careful, So if you hear it through a box, I think that's quite good. I'll carry on with that sort of wording. But universally, just calling them nature spirit seems to work well for most that come
they're
across.
Acceptable with that.
Yeah.
See, I want to know what that invitation was to Jason on the spirit box today, when we were up by the what's it. I've got to listen. I've got to listen to that thing tomorrow because it was most definitely what was said.
There's something to it, because he got that sense at Samhain as well.
Yeah.
He keeps picking up on a sense that the one, Yeah. If a portal opens up in front of me, he's got to grab my hand and take me with him,
But they even said his name, didn't they? So.
Yeah.
Amongst a load of other stuff. But I really wish I'd have recorded that bit when we first started. But like I say, I only did it for something for us to listen to while we were getting everything sorted. But I really wish I'd have recorded. I should have just recorded it on the Tascam, because some of the stuff that came through that first bit was amazing.
Yeah.
Andy, there is a place in Ireland near a fairy fort where the telegraph poles keep falling over. Do you think that's the Fae digging them up?
It could be, because apparently they're heavily protected areas, aren't they, with Fae?
Well, I suppose it ain't just that, is it? I suppose a telegraph pole's going to be a bit of an affront to them, innit?
Yeah.
If you think about it, because it's a tree that's been lopped down and then turned into someone else.
Well, this is it.
Which they probably consider, something better could have been used.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to cucumbers, but hell, it's worth it. Whatever floats your boat, Mr. Vernon. I try to use the word energy beings instead of Fae. See, for me, everything's an energy being. You know, because all matter is basically energy. If you break everything down to its smallest component, it's energy.
Yeah.
It's just what they use that energy for, isn't it? See, I don't
Yeah.
know that, Andy, that some of them take offence to being called the Fae.
Yeah, I picked up on it.
Because I always thought that was, you know, that was their self-appointed name.
No, it's they've actually given me what the self-appointed name is,
Oh, right.
and it's just the little. That's it.
Oh, that's what they call themselves, the Little.
Yeah, the little. Yeah,
Oh, right.
yeah, their own words. But
But,
you know, I'm guilty of just going, "What fair folk are you?"
yeah.
You know what I mean. And I have had some just drop all activity and leave by doing that.
Is it particular type of Fae, or is it just certain areas?
Just certain areas I've noticed it happening. We had it happening on 2 consecutive investigations. It were the Witch's Cave in Wales.
Mm.
You know, we all rock carvings. They
Yeah.
weren't right keen on that terminology. And when we were away at coast on holiday, they weren't right keen either.
All right.
Yeah.
I think they refer to them as the little people in Scotland, don't they?
Yes,
I wonder if that's where they've got that term from.
it could be.
See, because it's like the leprechaun thing, as I was saying the other night. You know, I always, as everybody does, links leprechauns with Ireland, but apparently they originated in Scotland. It's just for
Yeah.
some reason they became more popular in Ireland. Perhaps they like Guinness.
Heineken. No, honestly. They love it. They go mad for it.
Because it's like things like chocolate and stuff, you know. It's really weird, the sort of things that they really like.
Hmm.
You know, you can understand, like, gnomes with the metal and stuff, because they like to tinker. You know, they're a bit like goblin-y type, what people think goblins do, ain't they? The gnomes. They
Yeah, well,
like to, they're fascinated with things. So you can understand the coppery thing, but chocolate is a funny one.
I think it's because of dairy in it, obviously. But we've noticed the variable with chocolate is that air-blown chocolate works better than solid.
But that's quite interesting if you think about it, because if you listen to a lot of the really old fables and tales about the Fae, it was
Yeah.
always if you do some of the displeases them, they turn your milk sour. It was
Yeah.
always dairy related, wasn't it? Have you noticed?
Dairy. Yeah. Same with brownies. Like a lot of them original stories originated around farms. You know, dairy
Yeah.
farms. Yeah.
See, because that was another thing. I ain't actually mentioned this to you, but I don't know whether I have. I might have done. We went through a phase here, you know, when all that crap was going on.
Mm.
Jace would bring a bottle of milk from Tesco's, you know, one of the big 4 pints. And
Yeah.
we'd open it, I'd have a cup of tea or coffee out of it, and then the following day I'd have another one, and the milk was off. And we've had that with a couple of what's-its, and thinking about it now, and knowing what's been going on in that kitchen, until which, you know, we did certain things, and things have, you know, apart from the gravy, but I think that was a mischievous one. I don't think that was like anything, you know, malicious about it.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's connected to that, because I've literally had milk and it's in the fridge, you know, got turned sour overnight,
Right.
and I've had that happen with 2 or 3 jugs, well, 4 pints of things.
Yeah.
Brain had it recently, and you know, we ain't getting none of the dog shouting in there anymore, and Jace ain't had nothing open and close on him for weeks, but he did get that gravy thing the other night.
Yeah.
And then I got the gravy the following day. It was a gravy obsession. Selena says she's in Scotland, but no idea. Grandad called them little people too. But they've got so many names, ain't they? The shining ones, the shining people, the little people.
The bright ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. The wee folk. Tiddy people. Apparently from East Coast. Yeah, there's loads. Absolutely loads.
And then you got things like Cornish pixies, ain't you? That you know,
Yes.
they seem to be very regional. Because you don't really hear about them elsewhere. You know, people do reference them, but they seem to be quite prevalent in Cornwall, don't they, for some reason?
Yeah. I've had it. We have had it up north on
Yeah.
rare occasion. But I always assumed they were like just a slight offshoot from elves, me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it's funny how you get these regional things like the Banshees in Ireland and Scotland apparently as well.
Yeah.
And again, you can split them up because some Irish families view Banshees as a positive thing and others as negative,
Yeah.
don't they? Depending on what the
Yeah.
what the
That's correct.
relationship with the Banshee is. It's either lamenting a death or foretelling one in it, depending on the family.
Yeah.
The storybooks, in order to keep their history going without people being caught. Well, it was the same with paganism, Cat. You know, things were written into books, to keep the information going, but what most people would consider innocent. Yeah, the Scottish have got almost as good folklore concerning the Fay as Ireland has. I wonder why it's been so prevalent in Ireland. Because Ireland's quite well known for being Catholic, innit? Having a very high Catholic population.
Uh, pr-
You'd think they'd kick against it.
well, yeah, but pre that, you were very
Oh well,
prominently
yeah,
pagan, weren't
yeah,
it?
Celts, wasn't it, and all that
Um,
lot, Gaelic.
yeah. I
Can't.
don't know because obviously they're very much feared in Ireland, aren't they?
Mhm.
When you start looking through histories on it, they're feared, but with respect as well. So it makes you wonder if they were getting themselves into trouble with back in olden times.
Yeah.
That's all stories have carried. You know, but yeah.
Mr. Vernon says I got into trouble at school when I found out about the tough fairy. I used to get 50p for one of my teeth. I got suspended from school for pulling out all the kids' teeth. Is that Sligo, Sam? In Sligo, parents used to put a burned out cinder in their children's pockets to keep them safe from fairies as they were feared. Yeah, and another thing was keeping iron round the crib, wasn't it, and stuff like that.
Yeah. It just
See,
weirds
see,
me
that's
out.
that, that's another thing that fascinates me, Andy. Is the iron thing? Why particularly iron? Is it because
I
of its
think,
magnetic properties, or
well,
what?
as far as I know, there's only two variants on them that actually don't like it. 'Cause, a gnome would be fine with iron because it's a
Yeah,
natural thing. It's a natural metal, isn't it, from
yeah.
Earth?
It's an
So they'd be,
earth. It's
you
an
know,
earth material, isn't it?
yeah. But apparently it's just the fairies themselves that apparently don't like it, and
Yeah.
trolls apparently.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Cat says the negative image of banshees was rumour in order to create not necessarily Cat. It opinion on banshees literally does vary from family to family, depending on whether the banshee actually foretells death or laments death. That is where that's where the difference in the banshees are. Between they weren't necessarily used to instill fear because there's a lot of families in Ireland that actually view the banshee as a positive thing because they lament the passing of like a valued family member. It's the ones that are predicting the deaths that tend to be the ones people ain't keen on. It literally does vary family to family. Robin, now I don't feel this is home. I believe I belong to Ireland but never been. I know I have lots of living family. The Fae are plasma energy beings like electric. Would you agree with that, Andy?
I'd agree sometimes from a perspection point of view. Uh, as far as I know, they have got as solid bodies as me and you, where they resonate, on their frequency. I think it only comes like as such sometimes like that is because they're crossing over into ours.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different vibration here than it is for them, So they can come across as looking like that, but again, we might look like that to them as well.
Well, exactly. We don't know what they view us as.
Yeah.
Which elementals are linked with bridges?
Bridges.
I suppose it depends what the bridge spans over.
Yeah. Obviously, in folklore, you've got a lot of trolls that are prevalent with bridges. But then again, if it's standing over a body of water, you're going to get all your water elementals around it. If there's trees around it, then you're going to get all normal. It can be any. And seriously, any. You've just got to look for sort of activity that's happening.
See, because if you think about it, people always presume bridges are over water, but there's probably as many that ain't than there are in them.
Yeah.
If you think of the amount of railway bridges and motorway bridges and God knows what. I saw the video you uploaded, Andy.
Which one?
I was going to say, he's got a choice. When I seen them, they like a rainbow flickering with tons of colours. What would that be, Andy?
A rainbow.
What tends to be colourful when it appears?
Really colourful. Right, so... Ooh. Well, this is a tough one. How big are we talking, Robin? Can you give me some sort of idea on size? Because apparently, right, to see elves really well in trees, right, I don't know if there's any truth to this, but to see a rainbow in the sky, you have to get your head sort of leveled up with a tree, and apparently the elves can't cloak themselves and you will see a green blob. Again,
they can't cloak themselves near a tree?
If there's a rainbow in your view.
All right.
The green of them will show, so you'll be able to make out where they are. But again, getting a rainbow near a tree, in view, because, they don't happen all the time, do they?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's any truth to that, but she answered yet. I'd need an idea on what size sort of colour spectrum you're getting, because it will have a size to it.
The Fae come in small, medium or large. We need to know which one.
Yeah, they do.
Not sky in front of me. When elementals come around me, I see the rainbow and sparkling. But how big are these sparkling rainbow things?
Well, sparkling is usually fairy.
Is it?
Yeah, definitely. Off bat, if it's got a sparkle to it, yeah.
I'm just going to finish off my little bottle of golden brew.
About 3 foot. Yeah. It could be one of the variants at fairies, that.
See, there's so many different subclasses of fairies, though, in there, depending on what they do.
Oh, yeah. There's absolutely tons on them.
Hi, Sandra. How many different varieties of Fae would you think there are, Andy? There's got to be hundreds, ain't there?
Couple of 100, and I've only ever going off what's been named on Spirit Box, and obviously photographs that we've got and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have only met 12 different types.
Jesus.
In 3 years.
I was watching one on Kelpies and Selkies the other day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They sound bears going off.
Is that your bear?
Yeah.
Is that when you mentioned Kelpies and Selkies?
Yeah. And that was his left arm went off. Hello? Does somebody want to talk about Kelpies and Selkies? That was a real positive hit. His left arm was going off. Actually.
So that Mark asked me if what kind of fairy would I think Cara is? A naughty one. No, I'm only kidding. I believe that she would be some form of higher up one, because she seems to have two like others around her that she bosses around.
See, from what I got off that reading on the cards the other night, she didn't come across to me as nasty.
No.
Quite the opposite, in fact.
Yeah, she can get a mean streak.
Yeah, but I don't think she's inherently evil. That ain't what she came across as on the cards. But a fairy has a star on a one too. only in fairy tales and picture books.
Yeah. You'll more than likely find them with a stick that they'll want to hit you with.
I need to raise my vibrations, it seems, to see it more clear. I didn't believe in angels. I used to see the sparkle dust around me until they showed me it was them. I raised my vibrations. She's nasty. She's not nasty with me. Yeah.
A little. I don't know, Robin, what you what you like. I don't know what you like is in taking anything to alter your perceptions, but we do know that a concoction of like bay leaf, rose petals, honey, apple. It's like Becky brews a tea up. This is what Brett's supping at minute.
This is what I'm drinking right now.
It's like it is a blending of things that we know resonate well with little people. But then because they're much faster than us, that's why we only see flickers and sparkles and stuff like that, right? You've got to try and slow your visual perception down a little bit. And we know of only one thing that can do that really well, but you don't need a lot of it. And, we don't know what people are like for... I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on your channel, Brett.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, feel free.
So, yeah, just a small microdosing of cannabis can do that for you. Because I'm a researcher, I can hold my hand up. I've tried it, and it does work. Alongside other things that resonate well, that you can put in your body, like such as the tea. But yeah, it slows your perception down just enough for you to be able to visualize, to catch them a little bit better, because they are so fast.
Tastes like the plague doctor's apothecary. What's the worst that could happen, lol? Becky, I have to order a bottle now every time I go up to Andy's, and she always gets me a bottle ready. Honestly, it's addictive stuff. I can't even describe what it tastes. Well, you can taste the honey and everything in it, but it's just got this most amazing flavour to it. And I actually like it cold. I'll drink it cold.
Yeah. I'm the same with that.
It's in the fridge now, the big bottle. I'll drink it. I'll drink it like wine. I have it in a wine glass.
That's amazing.
You know she's there, you feel her, you know it, but you push it away a lot. It's a secret brew, Stephen. I know roughly what's in it, but I don't know the quantities and stuff. And to be honest with you, I don't think anybody could brew it like Becky does anyway. It's just got this knack with it.
We're kind of trying to perfect it a little bit at some point. We're going to make our own water filter from stone and sand and stuff, and get proper like stream water. And because I know where there's a proper clean stream not too far from here. So yeah.
Well, the
could
thing
get
is
a lot more interesting.
They put chlorine and fluorine in tap water, don't they? So.
Oh, this is it. I mean, she uses like bottled spring or mineral water anyway, for it. But I think just doing it at a send just gives that little bit more edge to it, a bit more. Yeah.
I was told to find out who I am supposed to find the symbol that's akin to a tree with 3 branches.
I was told to find out. Wow. Oh, won't that be a rune?
You thought so?
Yeah. There is one like that. I don't. I mean, just go and have a look at that because
you've got that rune that's like a stick with through the middle of a V in it. That looks like a tree with 3 branches.
Yeah. Oh, my computer's gone by me again. I'm just looking for this rune a minute. Just give me a second.
Yeah, no problem. It was weird, that bear firing off just.
Yeah.
It was literally, and what I was going to say, kelpies sound like a right horrible bunch. Apparently they used to come out the streams and drag innocent kids into the water.
Yeah. There's apparently that is it that Ginny Green Teeth?
Yes.
Yeah, she's meant to be a bit like that, isn't she, from Lancashire area and that. But yeah.
I'm wondering, it came from an auto. I haven't done automatic writing for ages. I used to do it quite a lot. That was one of the things we used to do in the development circle. It was actually one of the very first exercises that you did. You used to get some very interesting stuff via automatic writing.
I tried it in East Drive. Just being dead right with it. Obviously, I was asking Tommy for help with it, and I actually wrote my own name. I didn't even. I thought, to be honest, I thought Tommy had been spelt, but it was my own name.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense.
It's quite an interesting thing to have come through automatic writing. But I know there's the one rune, especially I think it's the one Celtic rune. It's actually, it looks like a Y, doesn't it, or a V with a line through it. So it looks like a tree with 3 branches.
Well, from what I've got here, the one that actually says all trees what they're meant to be would be an elder tree, and obviously it's a really good one because it's an elder, but it's like for wealth, possessions, nourishment, abundance, divination, and prophecy. And that is like the stem, but obviously the top one would be branch 1, and then it's got another 2 branches coming off it.
And that's the elder.
That's the elder, which that's ancient tree language. What runes?
So there you go. Paradox. You got to find some kind of link with an elder.
So elder, I can tell you that it was one of Ireland's most sacred trees. It was punishable by death at one point to have it cut down. And
I think even now farmers leave it, don't they?
yeah, they're meant to do.
Is
Yeah.
it the white elder bushes they leave?
Uh,
They leave them grow into copses.
Yeah. Apparently, it's probably the only tree that you can never pick or cut unless specific permission. And it's got a fairy attached to it called the White Lady. She can help, apparently. There's something you can do with Fae. It's a path that we're on at the minute, but you've got to hit so many certain milestones, and at the end of it, you can request if you hit them all, and if you think you've done it right, you can request to see the White Lady, and apparently she'll appear to you in a woodland. You've got to be on your own. If she approaches you and acknowledges that you're there and speaks to you, then you've got something interesting to come. But it won't take long to happen. I'm not going to tell you what it is. If she acknowledges you but carries on walking and doesn't speak, then you are nearly there but you ain't quite made it. Or if she just walks past you, then you weren't even ready. So yeah, it's quite an interesting thing. Elder's quite cool.
See, it's also quite interesting that the birch tree is known as the Lady of the Woods as well, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
I'm wondering it came from automatic writing. Very interesting thing to have come through automatic writing. I've got to be honest, Paradox.
Yeah, have a look into it.
I used to get a lot of scrolling.
Yeah.
Just general phrases and words and stuff. I used to enjoy doing automatic writing. I enjoy the Ouija board as well.
Yeah.
It's finding people prepared to do it because they all think they're going to get possessed by demons and shite. Part of the message said to look towards my west to find it. Well, west is traditionally your element of water.
Yes, it is.
So possibly an elder tree near water is where you need to be looking. That's an interesting thing, isn't it, Andy, to be told to you? To find yourself, you've got to find a tree with 3 branches.
Yeah. It's a bit strange, isn't it?
Is it literally saying find a tree with 3 branches, or is it being, symbolic?
Well, yeah, that's why I was going off with symbol. We just go and look on.
He's taking notes.
Right.
No, Selena is very jittery around Ouija boards. His mother had a bad experience with one as a girl, and I think he's a bit frightened of them. Jason is far from the biggest fan of Ouija boards. Far from. But then again, I think, welcome back, Rose. I think, again, it's more the fact that, the mists and bloody what's it that surrounds them that, it's that kind of thing that puts him off. Any part of the tree will root. Tree with 3 stems growing from the same spot. We saw one of those in the park, didn't we, Andy? But there was about 7 of them, weren't they, coming off it?
Oh, yeah.
In that little special place you couldn't get to with the swamp at the time.
Right. We might have misfired on Elder. Right, so the actual symbol with the three branches coming off is the alder. It's the alder tree. And that is an element of fire and water tree.
Right.
Um,
Which might explain the look to the west reference.
yeah. I'm just looking at some. Right, add up. It says it's to help you find things you've been avoiding. It allows access into fairy realms. So it reduces nervousness and anxiety.
It ain't the most common tree either, is it? The alder.
No, you've got two different common types. You've got the common one and then the green. Yeah, its actual symbol is the stem and then the three fork off. Elder's got like 7 forks if you look at the proper symbol for it. So it's not quite the rune, it's the actual, how do you say it? Is it Ogam?
God knows.
Oam, something like that, some alphabet for it. Yeah, I'll pop a link into information at Alder. And you can see its symbol then. So yeah, what we were asking about it, wait, Paradox.
Paradox.
Yeah. Have a look at this link, Paradox. 'Cause that symbol there for Alder Tree has got the 3 branches coming off it. There's quite a lot of information on that page as well about it.
See, I've always wondered how that is actually pronounced. Is it Ogham? Ogham? Ockham? Or, what is the actual pronunciation of that?
I'd have thought it was Oam. Like with a silent G.
Yeah.
But it might not be. Let's see if Google will tell me.
Yeah, it's one of them strange, obscure, old Celtic words, isn't he? Yeah, definitely do. Paradox. Especially if you can tie it back to what was said in the automatic writing.
So it says, Google says it's Ogham.
Ogham.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would be interesting to see if you find anything out from it.
Yeah, definitely.
See, because that's good proof that, you've actually got your information to look from somebody else.
I've got a nice piece of alder here ready for a wand as well.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. You don't get much on it 'cause it's one of them right hardy trees that don't tend to drop any branches.
Yeah. Well, what we should have done today while we were at the pond, we should have checked that witch elm.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Because they're another thing you don't see very often.
Yeah, 'cause I ain't got any witch elm at all for any ones.
Yeah.
I've got some standard elm, but I ain't got no witch. I ain't got no witch hazel either. I have not seen none of that nowhere.
What, witch hazel?
Yeah.
For someone like that, you're probably going to have to go well out into the country.
Yeah.
It's like that now. I would ask you exactly. I always say, Paradox. There's certain situations in your life that are actually destined to happen, regardless of what you do, and that there are important crossroads in your life that you can't avoid. for good or bad. Can use that wand underwater, and also it's used to make bridges. Doesn't rot like other near rivers.
Yeah, 'cause it is a very like watery. I tell you, you know that stone circle, Brett, where we did Sowen.
Yeah,
Well, you know where that lake runs down.
yeah.
There's two great big alder trees there, right at the edge of it.
Is there?
Yeah, massive, massive.
I'm just saying good night to Sandra.
Good night, Sandra.
Night, Sandra. See, Sam's the best one to ask about the Irish traditions regarding trees in Ireland. But funnily enough, you mentioning that with the elder, I was actually watching a video the other day, and it was a farmer, and it's an old one. It was obviously an old
Yeah.
TV program, and they were talking to this farmer who was a very big believer in all the Fae stuff, and he says he communicates with the Fae. And he
Yeah.
was on about, he says he was pointing out the elder copses. He says these have been on our land because his dad owned the farm before him and stuff. He says, and we'd
Right.
even got them actually marked out on the maps of the farm and stuff, and they were marked out never to be touched. And
Really?
apparently, all the farmers in that area follow exactly the same thing as well. Apparently, I
Yeah.
can't remember which county it was in Ireland. It was a really old TV program, but it had been recorded and stuck on YouTube. But it was fascinating to listen to. And he was actually talking about the elder trees and how they shouldn't be touched
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the fairies would kick off.
Yeah. Apparently, you should never burn it either. Yeah, it's a big,
Yeah.
big, big no to burn an elder.
Yeah, and he said, even the cattle don't touch it in the fields because he got all cows in there with it. He
Yeah.
said, even the cows don't touch it.
Good night, Cass.
Good night, Cass.
But yeah, all crystals on my spirit box.
Yeah,
Them stuck out. They're all sat in little elder cups.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wind this down in a minute, Andy, because it's got to be after midnight now.
Yeah, it is. Seems to have gone really quick tonight. This.
Yeah, it's been nearly 3.5 hours we've been going.
It don't feel like it, to
No,
be
it
fair.
flies by, doesn't it? I had fun with them experiments tonight. It was interesting to see how well everybody did.
Yeah,
And Sam turned out to be the most psychic of everybody.
I know. So, Sam and Becky.
Yeah.
What's all that about?
Mm.
I think Becky.
I didn't
Yeah.
a light under a bushel.
I know. I don't think she lets on half as much as she knows me.
No, nor me. It's swigging all the golden brew that's doing it. Right, we'll have about another 5 minutes and then I'll call it a night. What time is it now?
Oh, it's about 20 past.
We'll take it to 1:30 and then we'll call it a night. We've got about 7
Alright,
minutes.
cool.
That's a nice round figure. But yeah, but like I say, Andy, that video I was watching, I'll try and find it and send you the link.
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
Because he was a strong believer in the Fae, and
Yeah.
there's a piece of land and he says it's a fairy fort that they have campers on the farm and they're told not to not to camp there. They ain't allowed to camp there. But what was really interesting, apparently, that he had some people come from abroad to study the
Oh,
Fae.
I know who it is.
To study the Fae, and apparently one was a scientist, and they were doing something in a tree the one night, in a tree house, and the Fae did something to him that frightened her that much, I left and refused to come back.
Yeah.
And that was the scientist.
It rubbed its hand up her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who it is. I've got him bookmarked because he lets you go now if you think you can survive camping on land.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But right, so his farm.
Yeah.
Right, it's literally 25 minutes drive in a straight line away from farm that Peter grew up on. You know,
Oh, is it?
Peter from my end who
Yeah.
died a few months ago. Yeah, 25 minutes drive away from where he grew up.
All right.
Yeah, that was cause when I saw it, I was like, oh, what? Yeah, because it's on one of my hit lists to do that farm.
Yeah. But he was actually Stephen. Apparently, what the Irish believe, or what they believe in that particular area of Ireland, is if you damage or touch those trees in any way, you will raise the wrath of the Fae, and it will not
Yes.
be a pleasant experience for you.
Nope.
But apparently, what he was saying in this video was that he'd had these three people who were camping on the farm,
Yeah.
who'd come to study the Fae, and one of them was a scientist, and so he don't actually say in the video what had happened to her, but apparently something happened to them. They came running into the farm at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning, banging on the door, begging to be let in.
Because hadn't he gone to a funeral or something, so he
Yes.
weren't even in the area? Yeah.
He'd gone somewhere, and he said he'd come back, and he was a bit worse for wear.
Yeah.
And apparently, just after he got back in, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. They were hammering on his door to be let in.
Yeah.
And apparently, she left the following day and refused to come back.
Brilliant.
But he didn't actually say on that. But he said something had happened, but he didn't say exactly what they'd done to her. But apart from what I could get, but it was her and two other guys, and I think he said one was French and one was Italian. I think he said.
Yeah. No, that's it. Yeah.
But she was an American scientist, and they were studying all this Fae lore, and apparently they'd done something that that really miffed off the local Fae, and they literally terrorised them in the tree to the point they ran to the farm and hammered on the door to be let in.
Yeah, because he says, didn't he, that like all
That's
his
right,
crops.
that's right, Becky. He's got a fertility stone on the land, and it's worn smooth where people sit on it.
Yeah.
That's right. That was him. That's the video. And he sounds a really nice bloke as well. You know, he don't come off as a crackpot or nothing like that. He's very matter of fact and down to earth about it. He ain't like a raving loon about it. But that's right.
Yeah.
That's him. Yeah, with the stone.
Definitely on my to-do lists.
Yeah.
That farm.
Because he even mentions that stone and says something about people visit, and even now they slyly sit down on the stone, making out that they just need to rest or something, knowing full well what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stephen, apparently if you mess with the elder trees, you mess with the Fae, and it's not a very good idea. Because apparently they consider them sacred. I'm going to have to look it up, Stephen. I'll look it up, and if I can find it, I'll post a link to it in the comments on this video. I'll look for it tomorrow, and I'll put a link to the video on here, so people can look at it. But it was a brilliant piece of video about the Fae. But that bit about that scientist, I found that really interesting. Because he said that is exactly what she'd come for, was to study the Fae, and they upset him in some way. Apparently they'd set up some kind of treehouse, and they were in the treehouse on the farm, and something happened while they were in the treehouse, and they bolted to the farm.
Right.
But he said that fairy thought, people don't camp there because they get a feeling them unwelcome to camp there.
I'd love to do it.
Yeah. See, I'd like to go and see the Giant's Causeway and stuff like that as well.
Oh yeah.
And I'd love to go to Leap Castle. Love to go to Leap Castle and see what's going on there. Go on.
Yeah, the farm is called Green Hills Farm.
That's it.
Yeah, in Galway.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I know he allows people to go and camp there now and do the research there.
Yeah. I've got to do it.
Yeah. That is literally what that woman was doing with it. I'm sure he said one was French and one was Italian. There was 2 Europeans anyway, and she was American. And they did something to her that terrorised her to the point that she left. But I'll look for the video tomorrow, or if Andy's got it on his watch list, he can post a link to it in the comments on the video tomorrow. But I'll definitely put it on there if people want to watch it, because it is really an interesting video. Right, and on that note, I think I'm going to close the stream down for the night. Thank you all for coming in. It's been a really enjoyable night. Sam will be on the next video whenever he does it with a I'm Psychic badge on. It's official, I'm psychic. Sam's only about 20 minutes from the Giant's Causeway. Oh yeah, 'cause you're in Derry,
cool.
ain't you? Probably goosed. I have no idea, Paradox. He didn't actually say, but all he said was she didn't find it pleasant, whatever they'd done. But right, I'm closing the channel down. Thank you for coming in, everybody. Thank you, Andy, for being on again.
No problem.
We will be on Sunday night, like I've said, doing the tarot readings. If you want to come in for them, you're always welcome to have a tarot reading. More than welcome. But we'll see you all on Sunday, and thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks everybody, and we'll see you all soon.
You will do. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.